I don't know. It started. I don't know. Okay, did you tell Chrissy what's happening? Does Chrissy know?
Yeah, I just started.
Myself.
There's a lag.
Oh,
shit. Hello. Sorry. Okay, we gotta mute that so that we can not see the lag because it will freak me out. Okay, there we go. Yay, we're live on YouTube.
Yay!
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 Okay, you guys chat for a second. Introduce yourselves. I'm doing a post on Facebook so everybody can find us if they need to. So you guys talk, please.
Yes. Did you get a notification? Check the bell.
Check the bell. Checking the bell. No, nothing yet.
Okay. Well, hopefully people get the notification.
Okay. We're live.
We are live.
We think.
Yay! California Browncoats.
Okay.
Woo! All right. So hello to anyone who is already here. We will also just chat for a few minutes while people can hopefully join. Cross our fingers. We are not professionals at this, so bear with us. I'm
gonna refresh it and see if I don't see anything.
Yesterday when I went live, it gave me a notification. Are you subscribed? Are you subscribed?
I'm subscribed. Okay. Hey guys, could you guys chat while we figure this?
Yes.
I'm gonna chat. You figure this out. Hi. So if anyone's watching us, because we can't tell right now, my name is Linnell, and I am the president of the California Browncoats.
Hi, we're watching. Hi. Yes, it is working.
Okay, great.
Yay.
This is Hannah, who is one of the board members of the California Browncoats, and we're talking to Chrissy, who is both our secretary and our merchandiser for the California Browncoats. How's everybody's quarantine going? Hi, Chrissy. How's everything going? How's it been going for you?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, doing good. Yeah, working from home. So it's been fun. Just hanging out with some puppies.
Oh, that's good. Can you pick one up? Can you show us your puppy? Show us your puppy. Show us the puppy.
Show the Ewok who needs a haircut.
Oh, that's cute. That's a cutie. I don't know if you guys are if anybody's out there watching this right now, because we can't really tell yet.
6 people are watching.
Okay, awesome. If you have a pet, you can tweet us pictures of your pet.
We would love to see them.
We would love to see them. We would love to see pet pictures. Okay, so we are talking with Chrissy right now about
some merch.
Before we get there,
okay.
let me explain a little bit about who California Browncoats is, what we do. Most of you guys probably know, but if you don't, we are a Firefly fan group that goes to conventions and events, and we raise money for charity. And we do that 2 ways. We sell merchandise, and we have different kind of charity games, charity auctions, and selling merchandise is important, and also the charity games are important. And I would love it if Chrissy could tell us why buying merch is important.
Buying merch is important because it's what keeps us flying. It's what keeps us going. It helps us put money towards our other events, pay for our booth at San Diego Comic-Con, WonderCon, sometimes LA Comic-Con, really just anything that we're doing. We take some of that money and we put it towards our events. All of us are volunteers. Nobody gets paid. All of the money is either going to a charity or keeping us flying. So we really need support.
So I'm gonna share our merchandise page on our website, and then Chrissy, can you talk a little bit?
We have a lot of really cool Firefly and Serenity merch. We try to grab any book that is coming out that is Firefly or Serenity related. We try to get a copy and then sell it for the charities. Am I still talking? Because it's
yes.
Okay.
We're talking. We can't see us, but they can see. I can tell that you have not done a lot of these, but I've got kids. This is where the teacher shares the assignment and she talks over it. So you're still talking.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, any new books that have come out, we have some, just message us and we can get you a copy so that the proceeds go to benefiting either charity or keeping us flying. We have a lot of exclusive or limited edition items that either we create or we work with various local artists on. And you can see all of that at our website. We don't have any prices on there right now, but we will. I will update that and get those prices on there. But if there's anything that you want to order, you want to support us, just send us an email and we can let you know kind of how to proceed with that. And we'll get those out there and get the sales. We also have a link to our Etsy account on there. We've started an Etsy, and yeah.
Oh yeah, do you wanna, I think we can share the Etsy right now. So you can get to that. I don't know if a lot of people are very familiar with Etsy, but you can get to any shop if you know the name of the shop by going to etsy.com/shop/the name of the shop. So you can get to us by doing all of that and for California Browncoats. You can also search for shops that have the name California Browncoats. And the thing about Etsy is Etsy has a lot of rules that can only be stuff that's really made by us. So the things that we personally designed are on there and things that we make are on there. It's more limited, but if you were just looking to get, like, I don't know, a cunning hat made by one of our board members, Chrissy, that is available on our Etsy shop, and it makes checking out really easy. And Etsy collects the taxes, which are different from every state, and that saves our treasurer a lot of time and stress, and so that works out for us really well. Cool.
If you ever want us to create something, if you're ever thinking of anything that doesn't exist and that you've wanted to see, send us an email and we'll see if we can get it going.
That's a really good idea, and it's true. We would love to make stuff. And that helps, that people want to see. And that also helps us, I think, segue into our craft contest. The craft contest. Do you want to, should I talk a little bit? Can I talk a little bit about the craft contest yet? Or is this not a good time?
No, let's talk about the craft contest.
And then we should show some more new stuff. But first, the craft contest.
Yes.
So we were going to announce this at San Diego Comic-Con this year, which is not going to happen. But basically, California Browncoats for San Diego Comic-Con next year, we're launching a craft contest. And so if you have a crafty bent, if you are a quilter or whatever, or you do laser engraving or origami or whatever, we would love it if you made a Firefly or Browncoat themed work of art for us, donate it to us. Like, you're not going to get it back, okay? But then we're going to auction them all off at Comic-Con during our Browncoats meeting room to other Firefly fans. The money's going to go to charity, and but we're also going to judge the contest. So if we can have those in by May, what do we say, May 1st?
May 1st, 2021. Because as of right now, we're going to be auctioning them off at next year's SDCC if everything
goes well.
Works well.
Yeah.
We're going to say a lot of dates right now, and we're going to say some upcoming events, but you know what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
So just bear with us. Things may change. So we're going to post on Twitter. Linnell's going to post on Facebook any updates or whatever. So feel free to always ask us questions through Facebook or Twitter. But yeah, we'll keep you guys updated. But as for right now, submissions to be due May 1st, 2021, just to give you guys a ton of time to be able to put something together.
Yes. And then we will have a panel of judges who are going to pick a winner. Should I say what the prize is now, or should I wait?
I think we're talking about the craft contest.
Okay. So the prize is going to be 2 passes to SDCC, because you're going to be on our panel. You're going to come and show off your winning prize of art, your prize winning piece of art or craft or whatever.
Quilt, craft.
Yeah.
Anything in that circle.
Pudding in the shape of Malcolm Reynolds' head, whatever it is that you do. And the winner is going to get those 2 passes and come and be on our panel and talk to us about it. And then everything gets auctioned off and the money goes for charity. So we will be posting more about that, but we wanted to announce that now so you guys have about a year to really work on it. We only have 5 more minutes. Let's go back to Chrissy and see if we can talk a little bit about any kind of new merch that we got this year that we were expecting to unveil at Comic-Con and then we didn't. Is that okay? Can we talk about that?
I mean, besides the any new books that have come out, we got a new book.
We talk about this one. You want to talk about this one? Is it backwards? It's backwards, isn't it?
No, you're good. Well, to me, it's good.
So do you want to talk about where this is in this series? Because I think a lot of people have already bought books 1 and books 2.
Yeah, so this is the 3rd book of the series that have coming out, kind of taking place while the show is taking place, if I'm correct. I actually haven't personally got a chance to read them. I want to. I wish that I had more time, which I should in quarantine.
It is my understanding that these fall in between the show and the movie, is my understanding. So
Yeah.
all characters are still
alive
with us.
Yeah, they're more, I read that they're more events and things that they're going on missions.
Missions. That sounds good. I like missions. It was written by James Lovegrove. I want to mention that, and James has actually signed a copy of the 2nd book, or a couple copies of them. So that might be something that we auction off at another event, maybe online or maybe in person at a CSTS event. But we have 2 signed copies of the 2nd book, so that's cool.
I've been hearing really good things about them. They look really, really good.
Yeah. Also, you want to talk about this a little bit? We have a couple of these.
We have, yes, the new comic book series that has come out from Boom. They already came out with the first set of graphic novels, and this is the Unification War part 2. And they're by, I believe, Greg Pak. I wish I could read what it actually says because I did not prepare at all for this.
It's okay. It's a Zoom meeting. No one has to be prepared. You just have to up and not be wearing pants.
Yeah.
That's like the key thing.
It's Unification War Part 2.
Part 2. Part 2.
Oh, actually, we also have, I think it's Part 3. You know what? Don't call me that. No, forget I said that. I don't know.
We purchased Part 3, but I'm not sure if it's out yet.
That's
exactly.
We do have. Maybe I thought we had those. I don't know. You know what? Everything's in my garage, and I have to go look. I want to mention that if people have questions for us throughout this day, they can tweet us, and I'll be trying to check Twitter, and check Facebook. So if people have questions for us about merchandise, you can always ask us, and we will try to get back to you. Also, do you want to mention these? We have these now because we haven't had these for a long time.
So we haven't had the Serenity or Firefly in stock in a long time, but we've noticed that more and more people seem to come up to our booth and say, hey, I haven't actually seen the show yet. Where can I stream it? Where can I buy it? Do you have a copy? So now we have copies. You can get new copies from us. Put away your old copies and get pretty new ones and help charity. And
yeah, Blu-ray. Who owns a DVD player anymore? Blu-rays. Upgrade, people.
Blu-rays. Time to upgrade. Woo, Blu-ray. Okay.
All right, next. Dictionary and phrase book.
Linnell and I had no idea that this existed. I was searching through our catalog on where we purchase our novels and graphic novels, and we came across this and we thought it sounded really interesting, learning all the phrases in Firefly. So we purchased a couple and hopefully other people have heard of it because it looks great.
I think one of the things that's very interesting about what you do and what I sometimes get to help you do is that there is a ton of Firefly stuff out there that I didn't know existed until you have to start like, what are we going to stock? Let's look for some stuff. And you find like a million books. You find like pins, artists, fan art you've never seen before. I mean, it's crazy, the world of Firefly that is out there, the verse that is out there.
So I will read one to you. It says, fast burn rocket shuttle. Small, short-range shuttle that leaves a telltale black mark when it flies. Typically attached to a space station like Niska Skyplex, referred to in war stories. Let's see. Kiss the dirt. fall to the ground hard after being injured or shot, possibly dead. Very interesting read. All right, buy it. Super cool.
So,
I mean, I actually haven't even seen a copy because I shipped them straight to Linnell's house during quarantine. So, I mean, just seeing that there, it looks like it has some really cool art and pictures in it.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I'm excited to read it. Did we already show these things?
no. Oh, yeah, we wanted to play. We had these, I think, for LA Comic-Con, but they're pretty new to us. And I just wanted to mention them because who made them? Who makes them?
Art of Dave. Art of Dave is one of our friends, fellow Browncoat, and he makes a lot of our merchandise and really helps us out. And those are bookmarks. And we also have little hair accessories as well that have the same image. They're made out of wood. He makes all of them, and they go right in your the top of your bookmark. And Hannah has it ready right there.
As you can see, it has marked the page on my book.
Yeah, that's cool. And Dave makes a lot of stuff for us, and he donates a lot of stuff for different things like auctions and chopstick prizes. And he's a really great supporter. Oh,
Yeah, he makes our name badges for us. He donate. Wow, it's really shiny. Sorry. Yeah, I'm trying not to show the living room. Yeah, he makes these for us, and he puts our names and stuff. So they're really cool. Yeah, he donates these to us. So.
Yeah. And so we do want to support him, and I know he's probably having a hard time right now. Like a lot of our supporters are like Washosaurus. Have we heard from Washosaurus?
No, not yet.
She should be here.
But I see Hannah's Kaylee Parasol from
Yeah.
Washosaurus.
Yes, and I told her that if she didn't make it, we would still talk about her, even if we can't talk at her. Denise is the creator behind Washosaurus. She's another person that another creator that we get a lot of merchandise from. She makes these Kaylee Parasol, they're hair clips, but I like to wear them on my lanyard. She also makes, like, if you've ever bought one of our fancy brown coat, brown lanyards, she makes those. And she makes these, which are
a fan favorite.
Yeah, these are awesome. If I was very cool, I would pull them out and I would be like juggling. I can't do that. So I'm just going to show them to you. They're juggling goslings. They're a set of 3. And these are all from Washosaurus too. How cute is that?
Handmade, all handmade stuff.
Boop, boop.
And we all love when people come to our booth and juggle our display.
That is true. We probably have the most juggled goslings like in the world, the most juggled baby geese. So you can find Denise's shop, Washosaurus, on Etsy, doing the same thing. You go to etsy.com/shop/Washosaurus, and she has all kinds of fan stuff. She loves Doctor Who. She does a lot of Doctor Who inspired things. And I know she's really hit hard by not having any conventions to go to. And just to reiterate, like, we have to do this because we have no conventions. We can't get ourselves together. We can't get Browncoats together. And so, you know, not only are the fans hit hard by the situation that we're in, but also creators and artists and makers are hit really hard. And so if you are thinking about purchasing something, like, we would love it if you supported the people who support us by giving us merchandise and by who we buy merchandise from. But she also donates a selection of merchandise, again, that goes into being chopstick prizes. So it's a huge supporter.
So we have one more. We have the patches that we want to show.
Oh, the patches,
patches.
Yeah.
These patches were also on her Etsy store that I just showed, but it's the Kaylee Bear patch.
Oh,
there you go. And the heart and flower patch. We sell them, but you can also buy them directly from her Etsy store.
And we would love it, like I said, love it if you support other small businesses in this time, which is really hard for everybody. Yeah.
All right. What else do we want to talk
about? So we have some time, right? Who's our next, before we get too deep into it, who's our next person?
Nick
at 3:30. Okay, so we have about 10 more minutes. So we're here talking con because we can't be at con. So Chrissy, let me ask you a question. for both of you, actually, do you guys have any really favorite con memories? Anything that you're especially missing right now?
I mean, there's so many. I've been going to cons for over a decade now that it's part of my yearly routine. I met my husband at, well, we didn't meet, but we started dating at the convention. Because we had seen each other at work. He was a security guard, and he had to quit. And then we ran into each other at Comic-Con. And it's just part of who we are. We were in the Star Wars panel and been there for all the highlights and the lowlights.
I want to show you one of our volunteers, Paul and his wife Maricela. I asked you guys to tweet pets, and that's his baby. And watching. And they're really good volunteers. They volunteered for us before, and they're also really great people. So hey, you guys, we're happy to hear from you.
That's a really great con memory. Meeting your husband at con, like that really makes it very special.
Yeah.
He proposed to me in front of Hall H at the convention center.
Oh, no way. That's super cool. I didn't know that. I'm a sap for like proposals and stuff.
Oh, she really is. You guys, like, that's not even an exaggeration. It's a problem. She has an addiction. Okay, so
wait, what's my favorite memory?
What is your favorite memory?
I really liked when Felicia Day came and signed autographs for us, our first con. That was back in 2018.
Our first con.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't anybody else's.
Our first con as like California
as the new board,
but also it was our first time going to SECC and any con.
Yeah, that was my first con. Was us taking over the California Browncoats
at Comic-Con, the largest one in like ever. So that was very overwhelming. But I really enjoyed Felicia signing for us because I was in charge of the signing and making sure that everyone was like in line and knew what they were doing, and I was just like, yeah, get your ticket, like this is fun. And then she showed up and I felt like a bodyguard.
It was a really good chance for someone who really loves to be bossy to be really bossy. That's what it was.
Yes,
she really enjoyed that role.
I do. That is me. So it was fun, and just chatting with Felicia. She's really cool. I'm sure you guys know Felicia Day and all the things that she's in. But we were hoping to have her come and sign at WonderCon this year. So hopefully we'll be able to have her come back and sign next year. But yeah, she's really cool. We'd love to have her again. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that con memory.
Good one. That's a really good one. I don't have anything like being proposed to at Comic-Con. Like, I've only been to like 2 San Diego Comic-Cons, a WonderCon, and LA Con. Those are like all my cons. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't have I like it. It's fun. I like meeting people. I love meeting Browncoats. I love
No, you have to tell them your story about meeting Neil Gaiman.
No, Peter Beagle.
Peter Beagle. That one.
Okay. All right. You guys, Peter Beagle is one of my favorite authors. Like Neil Gaiman, he's also on my list. I'm not gonna lie, but when I was young and how to say this without getting too emotional, had a rough childhood, and someone gave me The Last Unicorn. I'm gonna cry now, and it touched me. And it was a book I still love it. I read it all the time. And he was signing at WonderCon, and I stood in line with Hannah for like half an hour. And when I got to him, I just could not stop bawling. Like I'm still about to cry.
He held her hand. He was so sweet to her.
He
was so sweet to her. He held her hand and he was just looking at her like this.
Probably like very confused. He was very confused.
He was just like so grateful and so like he was so kind to her. It was amazing.
You're right. So I guess my point was I didn't have this memory, but I do have this memory that like cons really they're a really beautiful human experience. Like wonderful things happen at conventions. Like Chrissy got engaged and spent time with the love of her life. Right?
I have a non-proposal related memory too that I just thought of. I was wearing my Jane hats that I knit for everybody, and I was walking around the convention, like in front of the convention, and I got stopped, and this woman who I'd never seen before was like, "Oh, I like your hat. I designed it." And it was Shauna, and she was on her way to our booth, and I was like, "Oh, I'm about to meet you at my booth." Since she was there, and we also love her, and she designed all the costumes in Firefly, and we're big supporters of her. And she was at our booth signing one of our Firefly Nathan Fillions photo albums that we have. We have a limited supply of them if we still have them, because they were limited. So I haven't done inventory in a while. But yeah, that was really fun too, to run into her just kind of out of the blue, and then
Yeah, that was really cool that she stopped you and was just like, hey, that's awesome.
She's super nice.
Oh yeah, Shauna's awesome.
She gives a lot of time to the fans, and she really, I think, enjoys what she does, and the fact that people relate to her on that level, I think, is really meaningful for her. I realize that we have forgotten to do something. We have 4 more minutes to do this. We do need to talk about what we're raising money for today. The whole thing that we do when we show up to conventions and we try to get you to buy something, or we try to get you to play the chopstick game, is so that we can raise money for charity. And for WonderCon, we were supposed to be raising money for the Alzheimer's Association, which was picked for us by
Sean Mayer.
And it's something I personally really connect with, because there's a lot of people suffering from Alzheimer's in my family. Two of my grandparents died. It's rough. And so I really was excited. I think we were all very excited to be at WonderCon this year, raising money for this really important, the Alzheimer's Association for this important thing. And so we have raised put our fundraising efforts online. We have a GoFundMe. You can go to GoFundMe.com and search for California Browncoats.
And I promise it will come up.
It is. It's the only one. And we're trying to get to $2,000. That's kind of, it's not an arbitrary goal. That's our arbitrary goal. That's kind of what we felt like we could have done at WonderCon this year. And so we're hoping to reach that now. In any donations made over $5, at $5 or more, will be entered into our virtual chopstick prize. And we have a lot of really great prizes, some that were donated by Sean, a couple that were donated by other people. And
yeah, we'll show them at the next intermission break.
But I wanted to talk about that now so that you have a chance to donate and play along and help us support this great cause.
Yeah. So it's the same thing as like what we do at con. If you donate $10, you get 2 chances to win. If you donate $20, it's 4 chances to win, and so on. We will do a random drawing, and we will contact you through Facebook.
No, not on that. For the chopstick game, we will. How do I say that?
GoFundMe.
We're doing it through GoFundMe. We're gonna do it through GoFundMe. Charlie is waiting. Hey, can we talk to Charlie really quick? We're gonna talk to Charlie really quick.
Sure.
All right.
He says he was gonna be ready in 2 hours though.
Okay, so you wanna tell him? Maybe he's gonna talk to us while we're talking to Nick, because Nick is supposed to be calling in any second right now.
Yeah, hold on. Let me check. It says, I will be ready in 2 hours. That was 22 minutes ago.
Okay.
I will also be on.
Okay, well, maybe he's on right now. Mostly online throughout, but definitely from 6 on. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. You want to say hi to Charlie? Or should we?
Yeah, we can say hi to
Okay.
Charlie.
Charlie?
Hold on. Still loading, I think. Hi, Charlie. We were just wondering if you were just joining to watch, or if you would like to chat for a few minutes.
Either way, whatever you like.
Okay. Well, we're waiting for Nick. So if you want to jump on and say hi, I think that would be great. You could tell us a little bit about what you're doing for CSTS this year. I know you're not doing the same thing you were doing last year. If you want to tell us about that.
Well, but let's not talk about CSTS
okay.
right now, because we're going to talk about it later. But why don't you talk about Utah Browncoats?
She's not bossy.
I'm too bossy.
Well, I'm actually Albuquerque Browncoats. So William is you. William.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Utah.
Wow, I'm so
But
sorry.
I think maybe I'm accepted as an honorary.
I would.
Well, why don't you tell us, what are Albuquerque Browncoats doing this year? Do you guys have anything going on? Are you trying to get anything going on?
Yes, we are trying. So we usually have our event on a Saturday after July 4th. And we call it Independence Day. See, get it?
Yeah.
Celebrate Independence Day and then Independence Day.
Nice. I like
So, so the July, and that July is almost certainly not a non-starter. So looking at a mid-September date. And then we also annually at our local literary sci-fi convention, which is called Bubonicon, ironically this year, is at the end of August, and we show Dr. Horrible as a CSTS affiliate event. And did William come by earlier?
He's come in
From
later.
Utah? Oh, okay, very good. I wasn't quite sure on the time of this.
Yeah.
event, but-
So you guys, you and oh my gosh, William, we'll be talking at 6 today.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
6 Pacific?
Pacific.
Okay.
So Nick is here with us to talk about his art. So I'm just going to go ahead and mute you and turn off your video, but you're free to watch, here with us and go in and out. And we'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
We're waiting for Nick. Nick. Oh, William's low right now too.
Nick,
Nick?
hold on.
He's
Load.
still he's loading.
No.
Just
It
Karen,
It takes a
beautiful
while
art.
for it to load once you.
There we go.
People. Hi,
Hi.
Nick.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm still waiting for my hat.
We need
we could send you one.
I love it. I would totally rock it right now.
I want a hat too.
You hear that, Chrissy?
What's
You
up,
have to,
Charlie?
there's a waiting list now.
Hi, Nick.
We got it. We'll make it happen.
Awesome. Love it.
Okay, so just to give a short introduction, Nick Kremenick of Dreamforger Studios, who is probably one of the most, I think, you've done a tremendous amount of work that probably not a lot of Browncoats could put the name to the work, and that is,
Probably.
yeah. Do you want to tell us maybe some past things that we might know you from that they don't know they know you from?
Wow. So I've done a lot of the swag and shirts and designs for quantum mechanics, including the Firefly crate. I did a lot of, including the crate itself I designed. And then I also worked on the Firefly role-playing game. I also designed that poster that's behind you. Yeah.
I have to say something. So this is it. I know you're not supposed to say that. I was going to say it. Nick is not supposed to talk about it, but he did design.
It looks very familiar, but I don't know anything about it. I
This
may
is
or may
my
not have
favorite.
That's one of my favorite. That's probably got to be my all-time favorite piece of Firefly artwork.
Well, thank you. I forgot who sculpted the ship, but I did the design work of the look and the basically the graphic designs for it.
Nice. So you've done a lot of stuff. Oh, I can think of something else. Didn't you do the flask?
I did do the flask. In fact, I'm drinking some Thrilling Heroics rum right now.
And it was a super popular thing from QMX was the flask. So I wanted to mention that. So Browncoats, if you have anything like that at home, this is the guy. This is the guy who designed it.
Did this.
Oh yeah, the hat pin. We have that pin. We carry that pin too.
I also designed the coin, the Hero of Canton coin.
Oh, nice.
It was in one of the loot crates or the Firefly crates, I believe. So yeah, I did quite a bit of stuff.
Awesome. We have a few things of yours that we sell.
Yeah, we do.
Slash donate.
What did I put
Not
up
that.
here? This. So this is something that we actually sell that you made for CSTS, and we bought a big chunk of them from you. But I know that they are also in your Etsy shop, and I don't want to detract from that too much.
Yeah, there's only a few left. I mean, I gave you guys the bulk of them.
A lot of, and then you also, I want to mention this, you donated this for today's chopstick game. I don't know if you can see how gold and beautiful it is. And that is available only from a certain level of your Patreon, right?
Correct. So if you go into the 25 or more a month, you get that exclusive print. And there's a monthly exclusive print that I do every month, as well as postcards and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm going to do gold printed or gold plated prints per month at the 25 level.
Wow. So how do you get to become a Patreon?
You just go on to patreon.com, and it's basically you become a patron. So you're donating a certain amount per month to get exclusive views on work in progress or digital downloads. Like I do a monthly postcard of power, where I do like a postcard every month at a different geek thing. So the first one was this one. Oh wow, I don't think you can see it.
Get mine. I can get mine.
So I did Persephone for Firefly on the first month, and then I did Aliens the second month. I'm working on a Star Wars one for this month.
I do have the I got my alien one.
Well, there you go.
And there's Persephone over here.
Say it again, Chrissy.
Here's Persephone over here.
There you go.
Nick,
Yes.
I owe you a thank you for the Persephone postcard. It's beautiful.
You're very
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
I'm glad you got them. So yeah, something I just kind of wanted to create something that someone could get in the mail that's reminded that things aren't all that bad. I mean, they could be a lot worse. And usually people just get terrible stuff in the mail, like bills and, well, more bills. So I wanted something cool to come in your mail, something to look forward to. So you can get that on the $10 level.
I wanted to mention something that I don't think a lot of people probably know, that this was going to be, this WonderCon was going to be your first solo table, right? You were signed up to have a table in Artist Alley, and
yeah,
it was like, so yeah, right. I think it was crushing for us too, because I think we were going to have you sign at our booth, and I feel really sad about that.
Yeah, that was going to be fun.
Do you have any memories from going to conventions? Do you have any good con memories you want to share with us?
I've been going to conventions for, like, my first Comic-Con, I think, was like 15 years ago. So I have so many fond memories and so many cool people that I've met. Like I met one of my childhood favorites, artists named Larry Elmore. Did a lot of art for Dungeons and Dragons and other fantasy genres. And I remember going, and I was the first Comic-Con. I saw him and I ran away like I was 13. Like I was so nervous that I actually ran away. I had to come back the next day to actually say hi to him, and he was like super cool. I met the last Comic-Con, I met Rick Baker in an elevator, and that I was just like going gaga. It was so cool. And then meeting you guys too. I didn't realize that you had so many of the things that I had designed, and so when I met you guys, you're just like, oh my god, you this. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I should mention that, like, I personally, I don't know about anybody else, but because I do love design and I love the artwork of the verse, like, I totally fangirl over Nick a lot. Like,
yeah, I remember, I think it was at SDCC last year, and Nick came up to the booth, and he was just like, I think he was talking to Linnell or maybe Chrissy, and they were just talking about things, and I came over and I was like, what the heck are you guys
we
talking
supposed
about?
to be working, but we weren't.
Yeah, and Nick was like, oh yeah, I designed that, and that, and that. And I'm like, whoa, that's so cool.
Yeah,
well, like get a lot of
pin he did. What is the you did the Kaylee shiny pin, right?
I did the Kaylee shiny pin. I did the cunning pin. I did, I think, about 7 or 8 different pins for the different Firefly crates. So yeah, the good night kiss, the Damn Heroes. Yeah, I did quite a few. I also designed the postcards that were in those, or the stickers, the travel stickers that were in them. Those are actually what I baged the postcards off of, because I love doing those travel stickers for the Firefly crates. So when I left Quantum, I was like, I want to do more of that. And I love working in the verse. Like, it's just so rich and so fun. So yeah.
How did you first get into Firefly? Was it when you were working and then you just started designing, or did you actually like watch the show and then that's how you really got into it?
So I'm a big Joss Whedon fan. Like, I grew up on Buffy and Angel and Dollhouse. I love those shows. And I never did see Firefly when it aired. It was on a Friday night, and I was like, okay, well, so this is like the Wayback Machine before DVRs and stuff. So a buddy of mine actually bought me the DVD set. He's like, this is one of the best shows I've ever seen. You need to watch this. And I blew through it, I think, in a weekend. Like, I was just so hooked. And then, as luck would have it, years later, I got in touch with Margaret Weiss Productions, and they hired me to do some artwork for their Big Damn Heroes handbook for Firefly RPG. And then that was my first work into Firefly.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, you can totally blow through the whole season and
oh yeah, easily. But yeah, that job actually got me the job at Quantum, because I had worked on Firefly before. Quantum was doing a lot of Firefly then, and because I was already vested in that verse, they're like, come on in.
That's awesome. So are you working on any new things right now? It doesn't even have to be like Firefly related. Anything new?
I'm working on the next postcard, which I think I'm going to also make into a poster as well. It's based on the new, I know a lot of people don't like the new Star Warses, but I'm doing a Poe Dameron Starfighter Corps postcard, where it's going to have the X-Wings in the background and him standing. It's like a recruitment poster for the Resistance, which I thought would be a cool poster as well. I did do the Persephone as a poster, and I'd love to do more of the planets. I don't think there's a lot of posters right now for Firefly, so I thought, doing more of those would be awesome. Do it justice.
Please do more travel posters. Please, I'm like begging you. I love the Persephone poster. Please do a bunch of them.
All right.
We'll buy them all.
Yes,
cool.
I definitely agree that there is a need for more Firefly posters, because I do the merch and I've looked and there's not a lot.
Well, I'd love to help you out.
Well,
So I'll do some more.
Charlie jumping in. Yes, I will buy them personally and for the Albuquerque Browncoats to sell at our shows and booths.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, you sold me.
So before you go, Nick,
Yeah.
I want to share your website.
His Etsy shop.
Yeah,
right,
his Etsy shop.
I keep saying this to people who don't know how to use Etsy, but you just go to Etsy.com /shop/Dreamforger. And there you go. I feel like people are not great at navigating it as a person who's been.
I just discovered, and it was like one of those memes where, like, I was today years old when I learned. You could actually do dreamforger.etsy.com.
Oh, I did not. I've been on Etsy for like 15 years and I did not know that.
Yeah.
They're
So,
50 years old.
Shop
Yeah,
it.
Now I have to check my shop and see if that's
right.
true.
Like, I just learned this. I'm like, oh my God, this is so much easier.
Because I pay to have my shop route, like I pay to have my own domain to have a route. But if it's that easy, why am I paying for that? That's pretty ridiculous.
So yeah, I do a lot of portrait work. I've done Firefly. The river one that's on the gold. I plan on releasing that later, but I wanted to give that gold version more an exclusivity. So it probably won't be for a couple months, but I plan on doing the entire crew, If they're popular, then I can go even further and do like Badger or Mr. Universe and stuff like that. So I would love to do more. And then of course the travel posters, I plan on doing some pins. I even want to do a coin for the Browncoats. Like there's just so much to play with. I can't wait.
Awesome. Okay, and so how can people so for like the Albuquerque Browncoats, if they want to buy some stuff from you, can they contact you directly from their Etsy shop, or is there a better way to get in contact with you?
Yeah, they can contact me through the Etsy shop, or my email is just nick@dreamforger.com. Yeah, just send me an email, and I would love to help out.
Awesome, perfect. Are there any other websites that we need to mention for you? Was there another link?
The only one would be the Patreon, because that definitely helps me continue to do the work that I do, because like you had mentioned that a lot of artists are hurting because of the pandemic, like the whole trade shows. Yeah, I made like a bunch of coins for The Witcher that I wasn't able to sell at WonderCon, and I know they would have gone like hotcakes. So there's just not a lot of avenues for artists to sell. So Patreon allows artists to do what they do, and you just give, $1, $3, $10 a month, whatever you can afford. And then, of course, the higher the tier, the more swag you get. But it's really just to help people like myself and other artists just to be able to function and keep doing what we do, which is basically trying to make this world a little prettier for you. So.
Well, we really appreciate that. And I know I got my postcard in the mail and I love it. I put it on my bulletin board. It's very nice. It was unexpected. Like I knew that I had ordered one, but then I got it in the mail and I was like, whoa, forgot about this.
And then you're like, you put a smile on your face, it brightened your day.
Exactly. Yes, I loved it. Well, Nick, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. We hope that we can have you, come and sign at our booth next time we're able to participate at a con. We'd love to have you.
We'd love to be there.
All right. Thanks, Nick. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to take a moment to mention once again our virtual chopstick game through our Alzheimer's Association GoFundMe. If you go to GoFundMe.com and search for California Browncoats, you will find our fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association. And right now, we've actually already hit more than halfway. Woo!
Oh.
So, right, that's very exciting. And so if you donate $5, for every $5 that you donate, you will be entered into our
random drawing.
Yes, our random prize drawing, and we will send you a fun prize.
And a pair of chopsticks.
But there's 4 or 5 winners right now that we're gonna pick. So yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah.
Do we want to show some of our chopstick prizes?
Yeah. I already mentioned this one from Sean. From Nick. The gold river portrait, which is beautiful.
And you can't see it through with the through whatever this is, but it really is shiny and like gold flaky. So it's very beautiful.
Did I leave the stuff from Sean? Is that I left it here? Okay. Yes, I did. I left it here. All right, hold on. Everybody hold on. I tell my kids not to step on the couch all the time, so it's a good thing they're not here right now. Sean donated a bunch of stuff, and so we created some really cool prize packs. These were given to him by fans. I don't know if you can see this. It's a My Little Firefly. They're like My Little Pony Firefly mashups, and it's a whole set of 9 characters. And that is a $22 value. Whoever made that, and we're pairing it with these clip-on bow ties that someone gave him, a fan gave him, and he's actually he wore these, right? Did he say where he wore?
No, he wore the actual bow tie.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know that he wore these, but
I think they're actually a hair clip, but really? I think you can also probably wear them as a bow tie too.
Both,
you know, so it doesn't really matter.
Why would somebody
gender?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's both. Because it makes no sense to give him a bow tie.
Yeah, right.
But you can use them for both.
Yeah.
So we have 2 of those with another set of I don't know where I put them. There's another set of the stickers and this bow tie. So those are 2 different prizes, 2 packs of sticker and bow tie with chopsticks. And then some fans also gave him this. Look at that. That's
So
gorgeous.
beautiful.
And a pin, Simon Tam pin, which is cool.
The serenity is made out of wood.
Made out of wood, so it's cut. And he also gave us a bunch of, you want to show some of those off?
Yeah. So he signed some pictures. So here's one picture with the whole cast, and Sean signed it.
And so we'll probably be doing some random giveaways from the same group of donors for these. Yeah. So we have 4 official prizes, but we will probably be giving away some other stuff because people have been amazing today.
Yes, we really appreciate all your support.
Look at that handsome look. That's like, that has to have its own name, that look.
Cool.
Okay.
So donate through the GoFundMe to participate in the chopstick poll. The auction is going on right now. We have 2 auction items on Facebook. So bid through Facebook.
Yeah.
Just comment on. So each item is an individual post. So on that post, just comment to bid.
Does anybody know, does PBS still have those things where those telethons where there's people like shouting at you, like, just call in now and donate, and then like there's a guy juggling? I feel like that's what we're doing right now. Just like,
That is definitely us.
the phone lines are open.
Yes,
So.
I think my grandmother got me Anne of Green Gables that way.
Do you guys want to tell me a little bit about the drinkware I saw you using that no one else got to see?
Yes,
Absolutely.
we do everything on brand. So this is these are both from our, we designed this in-house.
It says, since it's backwards, it says, I aim to misbehave, but first coffee.
I think is it backwards for everybody? It's just
It's backwards
For me, I can see it.
Oh,
yeah.
Or maybe not.
I don't know how these things work. I'm over 40. Okay, look at that.
It's not backwards.
See?
It's not backwards.
It's just
Awesome.
us.
It's frontwards.
Awesome.
And those are available online now through our Etsy shop and like through our merchandise page. And like we said, that goes to help us do the things that we want to do. So can you tell me what is coming up next? Is it time?
Yeah. So it looks like Bavo and the Fallen Stars are both here.
Do we want to give them a few more minutes to get ready? Or do you want to check in with them and see? Why don't you see if they're ready?
Okay.
Do that. And Chrissy, why don't you tell us another convention number? Not to put you on the spot.
Be on the spot. Let's see. I don't know. I feel like I've been there for just about everything. I mean, Star Wars was amazing. I was there in the panel where they had the full cast, including Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, were all there. And when they came out, I just started crying because I had no idea they were going to be there. And then they marched us all out, all 6,500 people from Hall H to the Embarcadero, where they gave us lightsabers and did a fireworks show. And John Williams couldn't be there, but he came, did a little Skype, and he Skyped in and said hi to everybody. And they did a live orchestra performance with all the his music.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing! And being able to see Carrie Fisher in person.
I'm going to ask a terrible question right now. Because as you know, like I have never been to a convention until we started doing this. And the only reason I really go, even though I have a good time, I have a really good time. I see a lot of robots, and that's interesting to me. But I would never stand in line for something that long, like standing in line for Peter S. Beagle. You know that I almost left the line like 5 times.
It's only because she was scared. It wasn't because of the time.
Also because I don't like lines. So let me ask you, as a veteran, like Hall H, line goer, line stayer, overnight camper, is it worth it?
Yes. Every single year for, I don't even know how many years, I've said, I'm never doing this again. Not going to happen. And then every year something happens where you're like, I have to do this again next year. and you just meet so many great people in line. I call it like the spirit of the con. I have made so many friends who I only see once a year in line at Hall H. We're all the same people who are doing it. And it's just a lifetime of memories that you just can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, I go, good for you. I couldn't do it.
I also like camping and
Yeah,
I'd rather be camping though. I would rather be camping.
yeah.
But I mean,
one time the sprinklers went off on me while I was sleeping. That was fun. Yeah, there was a homeless guy once in line. That was neat.
Awesome. That yeah, that's interesting.
do you feel like, how do you feel like the what's going on right now could affect conventions? Like, do you think that they're going to change after this, or?
Yeah, I definitely think that we need to rethink the convention and how we do things. Technology is also advancing with the changing times. So I'm hoping that there's some sort of thing that they can implement with the RFID chips that they're including in the badges, because the badges have now technology in it where you scan in and out when you go into certain rooms and when you go into the exhibit hall. That I'm wondering if instead of being in line in person, if we could do a virtual line or something like that, where to be able to keep the distancing. But we have no idea where this pandemic is going to take us. We might get the vaccine and it might go away. It might stay with us for a long time. We'll see, going forward.
Well, hopefully we're able to do some conventions next year.
I mean, as the president of this organization, I've spent a lot of time thinking lately, like, what happens if?
I have a feeling that there might, not so much San Diego Comic-Con, because they already sold all the tickets, except for the few people who probably might have gotten refunds. But for other conventions, I feel like we might see just less capacity and having a more limited space.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
well, Babo and Tracy are ready to go, so I'm gonna let them in so we can get them going.
I always get too excited when they say something too
Kitty.
Kitty. You say kitty, I say kitty.
Oh, it's their loading page.
Oh. Oh, is that? Is it that?
There we go. No,
Maybe.
Sleeping in your room.
Oh, there's Tracy's holding it. Okay. Yeah, it takes a minute to load.
I feel like I should have more filler conversations loaded in my own brain for this, but I mostly. Hey,
Yay!
Hey!
Hi!
Baba, can you hear us? Oh, he's still connecting his
Connecting.
audio. Okay. I've been home quarantining with kids basically mostly this whole time, and I really feel like I can only talk on a 7-year-old level now. Like, that's all my conversation. Good work. Tracy, waiting for Tracy? Okay, well, while we are waiting.
Babo, can you hear us?
Turn down. Hey, can you hear us?
Yes, hi.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. You gotta turn this way down. All right, he's got me in headphones here. Can you see us?
Yeah. Take your time. We're good.
While they're getting ready, do you want to mention again, if anybody has questions for anybody that we're talking to or for us, you can tweet us or even ask them on Facebook. When I feel like I'm being rude, I'm actually trying to check and see if anybody's asking us any questions. But you can tweet us or ask them on Facebook, and we'll try to address them or tag the person that you want to ask a question of, and we can get things answered. Hey. We're having a hard time hearing you.
Tracy's Zoom is muted. There we go. Oh, that's a beautiful setup. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
We did get a question, I guess. I'm being told someone asked a question.
Somebody was wondering if you guys think small cons will be more desirable in the future?
Someone is wondering if we think small cons will be more desirable in the future. I think
let us get back to that. Let us ponder that for a few minutes. That's a good question. I'll ask. Yeah. Okay. All right. You wanna? Danny just asked me that same question. Okay.
That's where I got it from.
So we are talking to the Fallen Stars, who are a local Americana band, but they're very well known and widely appreciated. And they have a Leaves on the Wind project where they write music inspired by episodes of Firefly. And so we're gonna hear them and talk to them a little bit today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Del and Hannah and Chrissy. It's been enjoyable. We've been watching for the last hour or so. So I apologize for the second feed. You get to see me and my cat. I don't know.
Oh no, that definitely works out. It's a little hard to hear you. Can we turn up your microphone a little bit?
Okay.
You know?
Here, can we turn up the microphones a little bit?
If not, we'll just figure it out.
Yeah.
But if it's possible, it's a little hard.
Okay, we want to make sure that you can hear us, because what's the point?
I know, but I don't want to make things harder.
It'll be plenty loud when we're singing.
Okay, sorry if I'm singing, if I'm like, can you hear
Yeah,
me?
Yeah,
that's
we
good.
can hear that for sure.
That's great. Yeah.
Because the microphones are like over here, and this whole professional looking thing, it makes it hard.
You're gonna want to take those off when you're singing.
I'm gonna want to take these off when I'm singing. Okay, so should we just jump right in
Start
with
with
some
the song?
music, or how do you guys want to run this? Up to you guys. We're here for you. We want to support you.
Yeah. Do you want to just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and your inspiration for Leaves on the Wind, and then we can get into your set.
Sure. Okay. So this is Bottle. I'm Tracy. And we, as you guys mentioned, we're an Americana band. We've got our own original music. And one day we were driving home from Arizona, kind of stuck in the car and thinking, how do we really fit in the musical world? And we said, we're sort of like Firefly. We're a little bit country western. We're a little bit spacey. We're like, ooh, wait, we really like Firefly. We should write songs about Firefly. And by the end of that road trip, we'd actually written our first Firefly song and decided this was a really good idea, because there's so much to draw from story-wise and lyrically wise and musical influences. So then we ended up with an entire album.
Yeah.
And here we are.
That's awesome. So cool. Well, I've heard some of your songs before when you guys have performed at our CSTS event. I'm excited to hear them again. So without further ado.
All right, well, take it away. Here, I'm going to take these headphones off and we'll see how this goes.
Yep.
All right, let me know. Just wave on the screen, because this is the only way that I can hear you if there's anything going wrong. All right, here we go.
Ready?
We'll start with a little something for everyone. Everyone's a little familiar with this. Oh my goodness. It's such a morning. Are you singing along?
Just sing.
All right. Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, I'm still free. You can't take the sky from me. Take me out to the black, tell them I ain't coming back. Burn the land and boil the sea. You can't take the sky from me. There's no place I can be since I found serenity. You can't take the sky from me. All right.
Bravo.
Oh,
Take that one.
awesome.
Great.
Can you hear everything?
How's it
Yeah,
sound?
Yes.
It sounds great. I mean, it's coming through my laptop, so I don't know how good it could sound, but to me, it
sounds
sounded
good.
fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. All right. So we were figuring, I'm just going to hold these here for the moment. So actually, no. Oh boy. Here we go. Technology, I tell you. So we were figuring, we're thinking about this whole COVID-19 thing and wanting to make sure that we're sort of acknowledging everything that's going on. We're going through the songs that we have for Firefly and seeing which ones really stood out that you could take into that context. And one that really jumped out was the song called Big Damn Heroes. So, this is really about Simon and River and how they take care of each other, how they stand up for each other and watch out for each other. And of course, Simon being a healthcare professional, we figured we'd dedicate this out to the healthcare professionals who are out there being big damn heroes every day. So, yeah, so here's the song.
2, 3, 4. You're a special little girl, big soul in a little world, dancing shoes and dinosaurs. But they put you in a box, buried so deep that you forgot how to be just who you are. I was lost, you came to find me, running through the world so blindly. Thought by now that you would know, you're my big damn hero. Your star was shining so bright, but you knew something wasn't right, so you left it all behind. Put your life up on a shelf, saving everyone but yourself, like a human sacrifice. I was lost, you came to find me, running through the world so blindly. Thought by now that you would know, you're my big damn hero. Don't know where we're supposed to be, but as long as you're with me, I know we're home. I know we're home. I was lost, you came to find me, running through the world so blindly. Thought by now that you would know, you're my big damn hero. You're my big damn hero.
That was beautiful. I love that song.
Thank you guys. Didn't mean to whack you into the guitar there. All right. So let me see. I just want to thank you guys for inviting us to be a part of this, and it's just fantastic that you're still putting this together and doing this for the fans, even though the cons aren't happening. It's just such a great opportunity that you're putting a fundraiser together for Alzheimer's Association. And we were just watching the movie Coco earlier, and it just kind of reminded me of how important memories are. So very cool thing. My face just melted. I'd done my makeup before the movie, and then I was like, okay, I have to do it again now for you guys because it's like melted off my face.
We wanted to thank you guys for showing up. I know that there's probably an aspect of like I know that Babo just released a very well like critically accepted solo album, The Red Wheelbarrow. And so I feel like, you know, you guys are really giving us something from your time, because I know that you are busy, you have a life outside of singing these songs to us again and again, but we appreciate so much, and it makes every event that we do, like, it just adds a layer of just richness and entertainment and pleasure that we wouldn't have otherwise.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's an honor to do it.
Yeah, and really, we don't get enough opportunity to play these songs because, you know, we can play these in a bar or wherever we're playing, and that's all well and good, but a lot of the content of it just it's lost just because people don't know the show as much.
Yeah. So we love playing it for fans who get the references and get the context. And so these are for you guys. They're written for you guys. We play them for you guys, and we love to do it.
Thank you. That's so great. Thank you.
Now, speaking of our favorite con memories, I heard you guys talking about that. Back a couple years ago, we decided to crash Comic-Con. We didn't have tickets. We had songs and we had instruments. And so we set up outside of Comic-Con, and we're playing our Firefly songs. And after we play this song coming up, Hero of Canton, some guy comes up to us and he shakes our hand. He's like, that was great. I wrote that song.
We're like, who are you?
What? Turns out it was Ben Edlund. So it's the writer of that episode, Janestown, along with a couple of other episodes, and the song Hero Canton. And
then he bought one of all of our CDs, and we have like 7 or 8 CDs.
He bought everything.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
We love you, Ben Edlund.
And then the best part of that is, I was giving him $5 change back because he'd given me whatever it was, and I was giving him $5 change back, and he goes, "No, I have crazy TV money."
That's awesome. That's awesome.
All right, so let's go ahead and take our shot, trying to do justice to the words of Ben Edlund. Feel free to sing along.
Jane, the man they call Jane. He robbed from the rich and he gave to the
I hope they don't remember. They call Jane.
Now Jane bought the mother's bags, break
What comes down but so
mother's.
Just us. This is just us.
Okay,
we're having.
I don't know.
Oh no, technical difficulties.
Oh no. Oh no.
Like there should be a Muppet with a sign that says technical difficulties walking by. Did we lose everybody? Did we
No,
just
no,
lose
no. Just the sound.
Okay.
Somehow.
All right, so we were waving. We
Yes.
waved.
We're waving. We're waving.
So-
Hopefully we can get back on soon, because I love that song. I wish we were listening to them live. They're so good now, but they're also even better live.
While we're are you working on this? Are they working on this? I don't know.
I think they have to work on it on their end. I hope that they realized it.
You know how to text them? Message them to- Oh,
There,
we're
there
getting
we go.
something.
Bravo.
All right, they're working on it.
Oh, there.
While they're working on it, we often, not all the time, but we often ask them to play our Can't Stop the Serenity event. So if you have never seen them live and you want to, you should come to every single Can't Stop the Serenity event that we have in Southern California.
Yes.
Okay.
Hoping to have one in the fall.
Yes.
If everything continues positively.
Yeah.
But
Let's see how that goes.
yeah. Okay. Looks like we're almost That can bees nest.
Okay, we're almost.
Anyway.
I feel like I am too old to be doing this.
I
Like
know,
my
right?
7-year-old.
now.
Yes.
Oh, hi.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay! How far in did we get?
Not very far.
25 seconds.
It
Yeah.
sounded great.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll just go.
Jane, all right. No man they call
Jane. He robbed from the rich and he gave to the
I
poor.
hope they don't
Stood up
remember.
to the man and he gave him what
Last time I
I
was
love
here,
for him now.
I just can't explain the hero of Canton, the man they call Jane.
Now Jane saw the mother's bags breaking.
What kind of town puts up a
Saw
statue?
the mother's lament.
Stealing from the
Saw
magistrate.
the magistrate taking
Flies in the face
every
of
dollar
every
and
kind
5
of
cents.
sense.
He said, "You can't do that to my people.
I'm just a working stiff like you.
Can't crush the money or
Running waters
Jane
don't
strapped on his hat
know
and
the
in 5 seconds
hero
flat
from
stole
a man
everything,
looking
lost
for
his
his
hat to
next
steal.
meal.
Robbed from the rich and he gave to the
I
poor.
hope they don't
Stood up to the
remember
man and he gave him what
that I used
I
to
love for
be.
him now.
I just can't explain the hero of Canton, the man they call Jane.
Now here's what separates heroes
The anti-aircraft had us
from common
humped.
folk like you and I.
Dumped the fuel, the gear, the
The man
seats.
they call Jane,
Well,
well,
I
he turned around that plane
and let my partner hit the sky.
He dropped it onto our house.
He grabbed the cash on his way
He dropped it
out.
onto our
30 feet down goes old
man they call Jane, well, he stole away our pain.
I headed out for the stars.
We robbed from the rich and he gave to the
Day
poor.
I learned that
Stood up
title.
to the man and he gave him what
Fathers gave
I
to
love
me.
for him now.
I'll live up
Just
to
can't
that
explain
name.
the
The
hero
hero
of
of Canton,
Canton,
the man they call Jane.
the hero of Canton,
The man they call Jane.
Yay! We definitely heard the entire one that
Yeah,
time. That was
that's awesome.
amazing. Thank you.
That is awesome.
Thank you. How we doing here? Do you guys have any requests? I know you've seen some of our songs before. If there was anything you were really hoping to hear, let us know.
Not on my end. I love everything, and so every time I hear it, it's like a wonderful lottery where I'm a winner with every song. Chrissy, was there anything that you wanted to hear?
I can't think of anything specific either. I mean, I agree with Linnell where it's just like every time I hear a new song, I'm like, oh yeah, I like that one. Oh yeah, no, that one. So it's hard.
All
I
right.
do want to, we should probably do Carrie mentioned Badass.
Yes. So for the California Badasses, I know they're on here. Susie is a great friend of ours, and one of our songs they've kind of picked up as a little bit of a theme song anthem for that group, because it is really about fighting depression, fighting anxiety, fighting mental illness, and reaching out and finding your family. And so we're going to play a little Carry Me for Susie and for you guys, for everybody else here too. And this one was based on the episode.
Oh no, did it go out again?
Danger.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Wait. I was actually just texting Susie about this because Susie was like, they're looking pixelated. And you know, everybody in the world is on the internet right now. Everybody in the world is on the internet right now. And that is probably problematic. For, is it coming? Is it working?
Yeah, got it.
Is it my kung fu arms? My kung fu arms, my tai chi arms are bringing all of the good
Oh my gosh.
internet juju back.
Babo, we're so sorry.
Yay!
Don't know what's happening.
I'm so
I
sorry.
don't know what's happening.
What's happening is the internet is waiting for Susie.
Yeah. That's all right. Yes,
No, thank you for the
Susie
wink
give me
intro.
updates as we do stuff. Like she's like, this is what it's like.
All right, you're gonna try it again?
I'm ready.
Okay,
All right, we're good.
here we go. Man said that we are not alone. Seems like I always got life so wrong. Facing death makes you feel alive. It's just the real world. I couldn't survive. So won't you carry me a little bit further? Carry me a little bit more. You know how the old saying goes, when you can't run, you crawl. If you can't do that, find someone carry you. Please take me home. My running's through. So won't you carry me just a little bit further? Carry me just a little bit more. I'm sorry this storm got so rough. You've carried that bullet long enough. Now won't you carry me just a little bit further? Carry me just a little bit more. Carry me, oh, just a little bit further. Carry me just a little bit more.
Woo! Awesome. Thank you.
Woo!
Definitely heard it that time.
Woo! That was
Love
beautiful.
it.
I'm glad that's Susie, one of Susie's favorite songs. Because I think it's one of mine too, and it definitely, like, you guys playing it brings a little tear to the eye. So I'm glad that you picked that one. And I think that I know that, you know, mental illness and depression is definitely on the rise as people are stuck inside right now, and we're missing a lot of our, like, social connections and our connections on the world. And so I think that's a really fitting piece for this time right now, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny how all of our songs, even though they're written about Firefly, this project, they're, you know, specifically the language is taken from the show. It's amazing how sometimes they do take on a life of their own and become bigger and broader and more applicable than we ever would have thought. So I'm thinking maybe we'll play Stronger Than Steel, because that's definitely one that has taken on legs and really just has become about the power of women and the strength of women and the sometimes underappreciation of women. We'll say that. So we'll do a little Stronger Than Steel.
Sounds good.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3.
Strawberry dancing butterflies, floating on air like a chandelier, keeps your ship up in the skies. Look at the pretties all wrapped in lace. Don't be fooled by a beautiful face. Underneath all the ruffles and silk, she's stronger. She's stronger than steel. Can't resist her undefinable allure. Needs no defense despite your attempts. She saves you with a word. Look at the pretties all wrapped in lace. Don't be fooled by a beautiful face. Underneath all the ruffles and silk, she's stronger. She's stronger than steel. She's tougher than you think, with a little bit of sling. She'll get inside your head. She's no mere diversion. She's stronger than steel. Look at the pretties all wrapped in lace. Don't be fooled by a beautiful face. Underneath all the ruffles and silk, she's stronger. She's stronger than steel.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
That's so amazing.
every time
So
I hear one, I
beautiful.
think that's my favorite, but I think that one is my favorite.
I think so too. It's just so beautiful. Oh my gosh.
I told you. I told you. Thank you. I just realized halfway through that I was still wearing the hat. I'm like, that's not right.
Okay, you wanted to show your Jane support.
I feel like our board right now is like four, pretty good and bossy women, and then my husband, who is just really good at is just accepting his lot in life. So I think that's like our anthem. That's like the anthem.
Perfect.
Done.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right, let me tune this up real quick. I'm a little bit flat here. In the meantime,
I think we have one left.
do we have one left? Oh my goodness. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay, do we have time for one
We have time
more
for
or no?
Sure. What
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
We have time for one more. I think
Okay.
everybody enjoys it.
Yeah.
And I should mention all of these, I think most of our watchers here have our music, but if you don't have a copy of it, it is for sale on our website. And of course, every time we do something with the California Browncoats, half of all of our proceeds do go to whatever charity they're working for that particular day. So today would be the Alzheimer's Association.
Oh my gosh, you guys
Thank
are
you.
amazing.
We're gonna post the link to their website through on Twitter and Facebook. So if you want their direct link, but you can also type just into Google Fallen Stars Band. That's exactly what I did, and there's the first one to come up.
And buy all the records.
Yes, yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're good here.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna do one last song for you. Again, thank you for hanging out with us. Please, you guys are going on till what, 6:30 today? You guys got a whole day filled, right? Lots of fun.
Yeah, busy day.
Do stick around. And this is our last song of the collection, and based on the movie Serenity. Song's called Just Believe.
You ready?
Ready. So caught up in their meddling. They think they're making a better world. She saw into the truth of things. Where are you hiding now, little girl? Out here on the raggedy edge, don't push me, I won't push you. Let's be bad guys is what we said. Darling, this is what we do. They say we run when we ought to fight, fight when we ought to deal. Gets lonely in the black, you can't fight how you feel. And stop the signal, we'll get through it all if you just believe. If you just believe. They'll come at you sideways and smile. Nothing here is what it seems. Half of history is hiding the truth. Now it's coming apart at the seams. There's something sure as hell ain't right, with people dying so others feel safe. It's time to step into the light. This time we aim to misbehave. And the preacher says, if you can't do something smart, at least do something right. No, and not changing course, we won't give up this fight. Can't stop the signal, we'll get through it all if you just believe. If you just believe. If you just believe. I am a leaf on the wind. Watch how I soar. They tried to make a world without sin. Now we've lost so much more. You've always taken care of me. It's my turn to take care of you. She may be tore up plenty, but she will still fly true. If you just believe. If you just believe. The storm is getting worse. We'll pass through soon enough. Remember Albatross, the first rule of flying is love. And stop the signal. We'll get through it all if you just believe. If you just believe. If you just believe. Can't stop the signal. Can't stop the signal. Can't stop the signal. Can't stop. Can't stop. Can't stop the signal. Can't stop the signal. Can't stop the signal. If you just believe.
Can't stop the signal. Can't stop the
Just
signal.
believe.
Can't stop the signal.
If you just believe.
Wow, that was a fantastic song to end on.
Yeah,
Love it.
as people standing up, hopefully, Browncoats standing up.
We were both sitting here just doing,
Yeah, we're
Little
rocking out.
bops.
We're rocking out.
oh yeah.
Okay, that's my new favorite.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for letting us be a part of this, and go.
Thank you for taking the time out of your day. We really appreciate and creating this beautiful setup. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Love you. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so the next thing that we have going on is we're going to talk to a few people who also have fan-based charity groups, and these are not the only ones in the verse. There are actually a lot of us, a lot of different groups. Hi, you guys. There are a lot of different groups. But we wanted to get just a few people together today to kind of talk about charity fandom groups and how you work about turning the love into a way to do good in the world. I see Susie. Who else have we got?
James is working on. Let
Okay,
me see.
cool.
Okay.
We also have fan-based charity groups, and
What's happening?
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Got James. We got Susie. All right.
There was supposed to be a couple other people maybe, but they did not. It looks like they didn't make it, and that's okay. We're probably gonna do this again soon, so we will probably bring a bigger group. This was just kind of like a testing the water since we don't know what we're doing.
Well, Charlie, since you're here, you can talk about the Albuquerque, right?
Yeah, Albuquerque Browncoats and CSTS. Charlie, you want to join us? Charlie?
Sure, I'll join in.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
All right, so we are talking to a couple people here, three people. Charlie, who we already introduced, who works with the Albuquerque Browncoats and also has been an important part of Can't Stop the Serenity. We are talking to Susie Seawright, who is the chair of Browncoat Way Station, which is an up-and-coming new Browncoat convention that is charity-based. And we were talking to James Riley, who is one of the 4 original members of our group, the California Browncoats.
Super excited.
So you're like our grandpa. Sorry, that was probably terrible.
Our founder, founder of the.
That's more appropriate.
Thing.
That's why we keep.
I was
going to
say country, but this isn't a country. So founding fathers. There we go. Founding fathers.
Okay, so to keep everybody on track, I would like to give everybody a couple minutes just to talk a little bit about their group and kind of how it started. And Susie, you're on my screen if we want to start with Susie.
Okay, I'm actually not going to talk about Browncoat Way Station right now. I'm actually going to talk about Browncoat support. So many of you know Can't Stop the Serenity. Charlie knows this as well. Cheryl, oh, hold on. Cheryl Bartlett Matson was the head of the steering committee that makes Can't Stop the Serenity go worldwide. And she was a very dear friend of mine. And when I started with the Can't Stop the Serenity, she was the one who helped me figure out what to do. And we did the Long Beach one, and it was amazing. And since then we were friends. And Cheryl passed away this last summer. She just couldn't live with the demons anymore inside her head, the inner voices. And talking with some of my friends in the, hey, William's on, hi honey, at the Browncoat, or Utah Browncoats, and we were just discussing about how we're geeks. We've grown up knowing that we're a little different than others. But when those internal voices start manifesting in external ways, we knew we needed to do something about it. So a bunch of us around the world formed an organization. It's Mental Health Awareness, and it is a Browncoat support for badass, because it's a Browncoat auxiliary for depression and anxiety support system. And Firefly fans are Browncoats. There is no pretending. We learn the details of a situation and we do the right thing. As Shepherd Book said, if you can't do something smart, then do something right. So that's what we did. And we are made up, like I said, of Browncoats around the world, including Australia. And our advisory board is made up of professionals. I specialize in neuroscience. And yes, I am Dr. Susie Seawright. Yeah, especially as Tracy and Bobo said, and I don't want to manipulate the time away from the others, because I know that everybody has a passion that they have, that they've turned into a cause. But right now, there is an entire group of people out there, because worldwide we're locked in. And so I just really, really, really want to reiterate, you are not alone. And if you are feeling not okay, I don't want to tell you that's normal, but it's normal. But don't let that stop you. Reach out. If you don't have someone that you can talk to, if you don't have a friend, find help. Our support system is set up to help people. We can connect you with people that will help. Don't let your story end because you've had a rough moment, because I promise the next moment is not going to be as bad. Okay, I'm done.
Susie, that's beautiful, and I'm so glad that you guys are doing this. I think especially right now, this is like the perfect time for it. We're going to move on and get some information from James, but we're going to have a lot more time to talk. James, would you like to tell us a little bit about why you guys started the California Browncoats?
I guess it was because we needed to. So we started back in 2005. It was mainly the Northern California Browncoats at WonderCon. One of the locals there just felt like they needed to raise some funds for the Salvation Army, because I think it was right during the time of an earthquake or a tsunami. I can't remember exactly what it was. But that was the first year I went to WonderCon, and I had been going to Comic-Con for like a decade at that point. And so when I went there and chatted with them, I went to their meetup that they had that night, like a Friday or Saturday night at WonderCon. And I'm like, I know I've been going to Comic-Con for a while, and I mean, I kind of know enough to be able to get us a fan table there. So why don't we just go do a fan table down at Comic-Con? You know, let's just do it, and let's raise some money. And it ended up where Universal got in contact with us, or we contacted them. I don't remember how it worked, but they ended up basically supporting us at the show. Comic-Con was great and gave us 2 fan tables, and it was up in the mezzanine. And I emailed them back, and I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. We don't want to be on the mezzanine. That's where, you know, it's out of the way. I want to be on the show floor. And they're like, all right. So they gave us 2. They're like, you got to pay for it. I'm like, all right, we'll pay for it. But they did give us a deal where they gave us 1 table free, which was pretty cool. But we got 2 tables down on the show floor, way in the corner, where they still are to this day. And we got support from Whedon and some of the actors, and they donated things. And it was the first chance for us to really get into it and understand just the power of doing something. It's basically like Field of Dreams. You know, if you build it, people will come. And that's what happened. I mean, everyone just showed up, and it was a great time. It was right before the movie came out, so there was a lot of hype for it. And it was just a great time. And from that point, we were just doing it to do it. And then after 2006, when we went back and did it again, we realized this needs more organization, and this needs to be legal. So that's why in 2007, we actually formed it as a 501c3. Because if you don't do that, then you're going to get hit with all kinds of legal problems. So, and that's where it started. And it was me, and it was Ariel and Kim and Lynn. So just like it is today, a bunch of bossy women, a guy who just goes along with it.
That's so great that you guys had so much support from Universal and the actors at the beginning. Like, I'm so happy for that. That sounds like a great
way to start.
Yeah.
It seems like it's off to a good
great morale, you know.
And so now we're going to hear from another Browncoat group and kind of maybe hear what it might also be like. So we're going to hear from Charlie from Albuquerque Browncoats, if you know a little bit about how and why and what your role is in your guys' charity group.
Hi, well, I guess I'm sort of the second guard, somewhat like you California Browncoats. The original team was a little burned out and moved on to other things in life, and they had, the original crew had CSTS events starting in 2008 through 2012, and no one was going to do it in 2013. So I said, I will, hubristically, and fortunately had a great partner who online goes by Johanna Zerbino. So she and I were co-captains for many years up till last year, and we had a great time. And we fortunately, that first year, I made the bold move of moving to a bigger theater from a 120 seat theater to a 600 seat theater, and
wow.
And that first year, we got 300 people to show up, and we reached a peak of about 400 people, and everyone was a brown coat, like 400 brown coats in a theater watching a movie, and they were also happy. They were so happy. They were like, I want to give you my money and buy all this stuff and buy all these raffle tickets and have all the money go to Equality Now. So it was just so much fun. We keep going. And so as long as it got to the point where the people recognize me around town and they say, there's going to be another CSTS this year, right? When the tickets aren't on sale yet. What's happening? And so, so I kind of don't want to disappoint people. So we keep having events and people keep coming. And I'm proud to say over the 12 years that the Albuquerque Browncoats have been doing events, and I guess I've been captain for 7 or 8 years, we've raised $50,000 for charities. And for CSTS, the primary charity, 75% goes to Equality Now. And we know all the great work they do worldwide for basic human rights for women and girls. And in Albuquerque's case, we send the other 25% of the money to UNM Children's Hospital. And it's a good time. So we're going to keep going. We're going to keep flying. We keep meeting great new people. Now I want to have the Fallen Stars come out to an Albuquerque CSTS. I want to attend the California Browncoat CSTS event and Utah and so on.
Kidnap them and bring them back. We would love to have you. We also have William Pace, who is the captain of the Utah Browncoats. And right now, William, we're talking about different charity groups, fandom charity groups, and how we kind of get started and kind of what your role is in that. If you got anything to chip in there.
That's an interesting question. How to get started as a fandom. It starts pretty randomly for most people. They just have this drive to go out and find other browncoats, and that's what they do. I've seen people who have formed groups just out of a circle of friends, and a couple of months, years later, they're one of the bigger groups in the country. I wish that was still happening more often than it is now. But as far as charity screenings go, same thing. You get one really excited organizer in a small town or a big city who wants to show serenity and host a bunch of friends over to watch it with them. And that's usually how it gets started. It's just that initial question, how can I host an event? And then people just start pouring in ideas. They just join in and add to it, and it just snowballs.
So how did the Utah Browncoats get started? Just by a couple people, wanting to get together?
Yeah, it did.
Have you been in it since the beginning?
I have not. There was a time where I was really involved with the fandom, and especially when the movie came out, I got very involved locally here in Logan and in the northern part of Utah. But when the movie's success was so limited and it was pulled from theaters really quickly here in Utah, that kind of sounded a death knell for me, and I walked away from the fandom pretty disappointed. I loved the movie. I loved what they were able to do with it, but I kind of stepped away. And then in 2008, I happened to just trip over the fandom very accidentally. This is back when Yahoo groups were huge, and Jeremy Naish, one of the Utah Browncoats, had started this Yahoo group, and I got involved and found out that nobody was hosting a Can't Stop the Serenity event for that year. Nobody stepped forward. And I live in Logan, which is about 80 miles north of Salt Lake City, and the event was always held in Salt Lake City. So when it came to the point where nobody was stepping forward, I turned to my wife one day and said, I want to host it. I know I don't live in Salt Lake. I'm not connected to any of the fandom down there, but I just got to do this. I can't see it not happen again, because we had missed 2007. And I got online, and just before I announced that I was going to host it, somebody beat me by about 45 minutes. Her name was Nicole. And she put on one of the best events ever, and I was one of the people that helped her with that, and that's how I got back into it.
Oh, that sounds great. Well, I'm glad that you were able to work with Nicole on that event still, and it sounds like you really enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you're still a part of the fandom now.
Yeah, in a huge way.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. It is a huge. Your contributions are enormous. While we're talking about charity groups, what is the role?
And this question's for anyone.
Yeah, it's for everybody. What is the role that you think fan-run charities play in the world of fandoms, and how do we help keep the fandom alive? And let's bring it all the way back around to Susie. How do you think not to put you on blast, what is the role you think that fan-run charities play in the world of fandoms, and how do we help inject energy into the fandom? Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I was talking with Denise from Washosaurus. She had an emergency, and so that's why she didn't.
Do you want us to come back around to you? We can go to James. We'll go to James. You guys, you text. Tell her we said hi. We'll see her in a little bit. Okay, James. If you heard the question, like, what do you feel like we're contributing at this time to the world of fandoms?
First of all, I want to say that I'm sad that I'm not Denise's emergency contact. But anyway,
hey, James, I just want to say your volume is a little low, and I'm not sure. Right? Am I the only one who feels that way? Like, I feel like if you could bring it up a little bit, that might be a little bit.
Is that better?
Oh,
that's
great.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. So our role as a fandom group, a charity group, whatever you want to call it, I mean, it's directly to support the fandom. It's to energize the fandom. It's to get people involved. It's to give a focus for people who don't know how to celebrate their fandom or want to celebrate it more than just let's rewatch Firefly again. It gives them a focal point to go to and to do something with, whether that be local groups where you just meet and hang out and do things like watch Firefly again or other events. If you have, Can't Stop the Serenity screenings or conventions where you have fan tables or anything else, it helps to keep the fandom alive in the hearts and minds of someone who may just let it fade if they don't have something to do about it. And I know that's generally what I see it as. And it's also exactly why I got involved, because I was not involved at any fandom at all before the Browncoats. I was a guy who sat at home and watched TV, and I liked the shows, and then I watched the next show I liked. But going to WonderCon that time and meeting other people like that, it just energized my need to do something and to be involved. And, not everyone's going to go to the level I did, of course. But other people will do things like help out and volunteer at a screening or work at a fan table for an hour or two, whatever it may be. And I think that's generally just what the fandom is helps drive the fandom for a lot of people.
That is a really good answer. And actually, as I thought of these questions, I was like, what do I think the answer is? And I think that you put it very perfectly in that, we support and energize the fandom, because you're right, without having something to believe in, it's very easy. And you see it all the time with people who they love Firefly right now, and then they love something else, and they love the next thing. And so having a pinpoint to pin that culture into and keep it kind of revolving and energized and bringing people back in, I think is really important.
It's really important for a canceled show.
Yes.
Because it will just fade. And I mean, we've seen the Firefly fandom lessen over the years, but it's still there and it's still going. And for a show and a movie that, honestly, is how many hours of entertainment? Like 12 hours. I mean, it's not a lot. And yet the fandom acts as if it's, a Star Trek fandom.
Yeah.
So it's really incredible that has happened. And I think it's all down to the people involved and the show itself and the people behind the show and the message of the show.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Susie, do you have something to add?
He said it perfectly. I was late to the geek game. I did closet cosplay, didn't realize there was an entire community that did this. My husband's been doing conventions since he was a kid, but I am married the king of geeks. And so I just accepted that was normal for him. I'm more academic. I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't watch a lot of movies. And then I actually do a panel about how Firefly almost ruined our marriage because my husband came home and put in the videotape and it was the wrong episode. It was not the pilot. And we had a knockdown drag out fight. We always have one a year. Oh yeah. Oh no, it was serious. That was the night, that one and only time I took my wedding band off and threw it at him.
It was over Firefly. That's the best.
That's awesome.
You guys almost broke up over Firefly.
Seriously. Yeah, but and I became a huge fan. And you know, I have learned to appreciate other fandoms, and I have other interests as well, but I'm a brown coat. You know, I may you know, identify with Ravenclaws because I study a lot. I love Star Trek, or yes, Star Trek. I love Star Wars. I mean, that was my first geek thingy. Yeah, but I'm a brown coat. That is who I am. It is in my blood, and that's the hill I'm gonna die on.
I like that. That's perfect. And I think that is Susie. Like if other brown coats don't know Susie, I tell people this all the time. If you don't know Susie yet, you will. Susie knows everybody, and she is basically the queen of the brown coats. She knows every brown coat.
You are way too sweet.
If you don't know her yet, you're gonna know her. You will.
Denise says hi.
Oh. Hi, Denise. Hi, Denise. I want to aim the next question at Charlie and William. What do you know, because you guys are so involved with Can't Stop the Serenity, and that's one of the longest running, like we take on a lot of different charities every year, but Can't Stop the Serenity is one of the longest running, like consistent. Every year there's a fundraiser, and so
you guys have been doing Equality Now since the beginning.
So I'm kind of curious, is like, what do you think are the 3 most important things that any fan-run charity needs to have a successful charity group and keep going the way you guys go on? William and Charlie, who wants to answer first? Anybody got anything?
I'll start with, I'll give one, because I think Charlie's got at least one I don't have. Mentoring. One of the biggest problems with the disappearance of so many brown coat groups around the country, like the UK has gone completely silent, a lot of the West Coast, upper Northwest, quiet, is because these groups had really powerful leaders who did all the work, who put in all the effort and the time because they just love Firefly, and they completely burned out. And they made the mistake of not mentoring new people to take over when they needed the much deserved rest that they had earned over the years doing the work that they did. So when they came to the point where they were too tired to carry on, there was no one to pass the torch to. And unfortunately, they just faded away. These groups didn't have anyone to take the helm. So mentoring is very important. You need to find somebody new. And I avoid, like, for example, in Salt Lake, I avoided that problem by identifying someone in our group that I knew could take over the Salt Lake event. And I turned to her one day and I said, "You are the perfect person to take this to the next level." And she far exceeded my expectations. Not only did she make it better, and I knew she would, she tripled the amount that we made and got our attendance numbers up dramatically. And it was such a relief to hand it over to somebody who had the passion to take it forward.
That's great. That is a perfect answer. That totally makes sense, because that's what happened with California Browncoats. It almost completely ended because the last board, they were also burned out, you know, and it was hard to get people to volunteer to become the board, and so that makes a lot of sense.
Because we definitely got good mentorship. We definitely had, and I'm sure who we took over from probably got very good membership from James's group, or mentorship from James's group, because otherwise I don't think we'd keep going.
Yeah.
We inherited like so many files and paperwork because there's so much information, and we're a legally like incorporated thing, and so like we were not just given this thing and like surprise. It was like there was a lot of It was like a class. It was like a full-time class. Charlie, do you have some other points to add to that?
I might go to the flip side of that. I agree with that completely. And that's something that I need to be doing because I'm not going to run this thing forever. But on the flip side, if you enjoy fandom and if you attended an event and you hear that the group is closing down unless someone's new leadership steps forward, which I know wonderfully happened with the California Browncoats. So that what happened in Albuquerque, and so be bold. I'd never done anything like it in my life, and I just had confidence in myself, and I said I can do it. And fortunately, I got a great co-captain to jump in with me shortly afterwards. But yes, it's hard work, but you could do it. Like I've never negotiated a theater contract before in my life, and oh my God, they need a $500 deposit. So just let's have a garage sale. Just do it. To interject another.
I do want to interrupt because I think you brought up a good point about having an important co-captain, and I'm pretty sure like none of us do this alone, right? Like Susie, you have a team, right? This is not something, if anybody is out there listening to us right now and they're like, I think especially about groups like Supernatural is ending and there are so many fans that's hitting really hard. And I think especially about them, like this is the perfect time for them to start run charity groups. But it's really important to not do it by yourself. Like
you'll burn out.
You will.
Yeah, and anybody who knows me, technology is not my friend. It's not. I can't run a website to save my skin. No, I have a full team that takes care of all of those things. I have somebody that takes care of social media. I have somebody that takes care of the Facebook stuff. That's not my gift. And part of being a good leader, and I'm exceedingly older than most of you, is knowing to surround yourself with people who are very well equipped at doing those things. And so, I don't need to be everything at all. And I don't want to be everything. That makes sense?
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. And for anyone watching right now, we're always looking for volunteers. I'm sure everyone on this panel right now is always looking for volunteers. So no matter what your special talent is, there's always room for you to help out.
And if you are a lonely baby nerd and you want to be a part of something, like Google it. I guarantee there is a fan group and they would love your help. So if you're out there like my show is ending or I love something, what am I supposed to do with this love? I want to meet other nerds. Like you need to be involved. You need to get involved. Put that energy to use. We still need one more thing. What's our third thing? What's our third important thing? James, you got anything for us? What do you need? What do you got to have? Anybody? 3 things.
We have mentorship. We have surround yourself with people who have individual talents to help
and jump in on something. That was
be bold and just do it.
And again, to go the opposite of that, be prepared. It's a lot of work. As they mentioned, how much like a class of paperwork, you don't need to do all of that to get involved. You can just be a volunteer, but be prepared for the fact that it is going to be an effort.
Yes. When we took over, the person that I took over directly from told me, this is a full-time job that you don't get paid for. And I am not gonna lie, that is 100% true. Like if you go to an event, probably for any other group in here, if you go to a CSTS event and everybody looks like they're having a great time, that's because hours and hours and hours and weeks of hours and days of hours and months of hours of work will put into those events. So appreciate, and if you do come to work, come to work.
Yeah, just to interject there, I didn't actually watch the movie Serenity for 5 years in a row because I was hosting the event.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
We were always outside in the hall putting the packages together, getting the auction ready. It was so nice to hand the project over to somebody just so I could walk in the theater and watch the movie one year.
Yes.
So yeah, you do work all the time.
I think the first time I actually watched Serenity after around 2005-ish was like 2011.
Oh, wow.
Because every year, you know, it's like, let's go do a Can't Stop the Serenity. And in Southern California, because we have so much population in such a wide area, there was one year, I think it was 2007, we actually ran 4 Can't Stop the Serenities in like 11 days.
Whoa!
Yeah. It was insane. Now we had a team, and basically, so like I made sure that there was someone in charge of it who wasn't me for each one, but I was, you know, me and a few of the other board members were involved in every one of them, and it was a lot of work. But also, we were able to combine the buying, so everything was purchased into one central thing, and then we allocated for each screening, but you know, 4 different contracts, 4 different set of ticket sales we had to run. I mean, it was a lot of work, but it was a great time, and I did not see a second of Serenity in that.
Oh no!
But no, it's great. I mean, it's so much fun, and it's so energizing. When you are a part of a group that is running something, it is just amazing because you have all of that love, not directed at you, but coming through you to the thing, because you're like the face of the fandom, because that you're the one behind the table, or you know, standing up front doing an announcement, and all of that love and support is coming at you, and that's a great feeling, and it's so awesome to be a part of that, even if you're just someone who's handing out like brochures as people walk into a screening. Everyone's there to have a great time, and you're a part of that, and you're a part of making that happen. So getting involved is work, but it is work that is worth it.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. Like, I'm gonna be super honest. I'm so sorry, Browncoats, fellow Browncoats, but I have not seen the entire show.
I didn't tell anybody that. That was our secret. I've never told anybody that.
I know. I'm so sorry. I am a part of the California Browncoats because of this lady right here. She called me one day and she was like, I need to ask you a really big favor. So, you know, you're going to do this because it's going to look really good on your resume. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
Copies, Blu-ray, DVDs, you know, I'm more than happy to hand you some copies.
I drag her over and I make her watch a little bit at a time.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm really glad that I'm doing this. I enjoy the cons as much as they're overwhelming for me. It still is a lot of fun, and it's very interesting to see everyone and all the Browncoats that come and stop at our booth. Like, just
it's a family.
Yeah,
it's really a family.
And just to see their excitement that they still have, you know, 15 years later, the love that they have, it really warms my heart. It does make me feel like a part of a family and like a really great group. So I have a question for you guys. And you each talked a little bit about it at the beginning, but like,
just so you know, we are running into other indoor team talking about PlayStation. So
at 5:15.
Last question.
Yeah,
Last question.
Yeah. So you know, we have all these different fan groups out there for Star Wars, Star Trek, Ghostbusters, you know, all the fandoms. But like, so for these Supernatural fans that want to keep the fandom alive, so why would they choose to create a fan group that is a charity versus just a fan group?
Well, I'm going to answer for my part because I truly believe that my place on this earth is to do something better than just about me. Browncoats allow me to make a difference in somebody's life, and I don't need to be visible. I have a checkbook that can do that. But taking that and using that platform to reach even more people, that's huge, you know, and finding that there are like-minded people in our fandom that's what they want to do. They just want to make a difference. And that goes for not just those of us who like enjoying the film, but those that were actually involved with the series. I mean, you know, some of my dearest friends are the ones that have been involved with the series, and I got to know them because of my fandom, but we've become unbelievably close. And they just, the heart of it is they stuck with it because they want to do something better.
I would add to that, when you're watching a show that celebrates heroics, like Supernatural, like Firefly, people who are just everyday people fighting much bigger issues, it goes hand in hand when you start adding those kind of good works and charity into an event. We cheer in the theater when our heroes reach those points where they defeat this undefeatable enemy. And with Supernatural, that would be such an amazing charitable thing, because all they're doing throughout the entire series is trying to eliminate these dangers, these evils, which are attacking just everyday people. They're trying to eliminate this darkness that exists. And so you can take almost any fandom, and once you add charity into it, there's this heightened sense as a fan where I'm a part of something big, something substantial. This is more than just words on a page. I'm actually changing the world. I'm a big damn hero.
Oh, wow. I like that. That's great.
And Hannah, I got to tell you, I've never seen an episode of Supernatural.
Come to our house. Come over. We do a rewatch. I watch it so much. I got my grandma super into it, and my kids, even my son who is 7, is like, sometimes he'll say things like, "Mom, I think there's a ghost in the yard. Should I get the salt?" Like, he's into it. He's into it. It's
Danny, our webmaster who redesigned our website, her and I are going to do a virtual rewatch of Supernatural together, where we do like the watch party.
Let's do it on Twitter. Do it on Twitter. Tag us, and I'll watch with you guys.
Yeah,
our official Twitter feed, because I love that show. You know that.
I want to mention something about getting involved, and when, like, as I mentioned, I went to the convention and they were doing, it was just a small group of 4 or 5 people were doing it, and I had never been involved in a fandom before, so I didn't make a conscious decision to do, to go full in on charity as a celebration of my fandom. It was just my first exposure to being involved in fandom, so that's all I knew. And so it was just like, let's just make it bigger and get better and do more. And, it just kept growing. And it's like, well, that was just the way it went. I didn't know that there were other options. I just did it. So, I don't think I have a here's why you need to do it this way. It's all I knew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. James, what was the first charity that you guys donated to? Do you remember?
So for the WonderCon one, which I wasn't involved in, I think it was the Salvation Army, because I think that was when the tsunami happened in Asia that year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was early 2005.
Yeah.
But at the Comic-Con, the first Comic-Con booth we had was for Equality Now.
Oh, okay. Great. Nice. And I know, Charlie, you had mentioned that, you guys decided to start donating to Equality Now because the fans or the people that were coming to your event were wanting you guys to donate to Equality Now. Is that correct?
Well, that was already established as the charity for Can't Stop the Serenity events. And so we joined in, but the fans picked up on it. They would, when I would see them around town, they're like, "Are the tickets on sale yet? I mean, I want to give my money to Equality Now." So it's really a win-win situation where the fans, if you do it right, the fans have such a good time. They want to A, show up and have a good time, and B, know that all the money they're spending is, literally 100% of the proceeds are going to the charities, because it's complete 100% volunteer. There's no salary, we don't get a salary. As you said, it can be a full-time job where you don't get paid, because the whole point is to have the maximum amount go to charity. So I would say that it's win-win is one of the reasons for Supernatural fans to set it up that way, because they would have a great time with their geeking out with their fellow fans and making money for charity. So it's a very win-win thing. And I would like to give a small plug to the Browncoat Ball, which is a charity event, but it's a nonprofit. And you don't have to have fandom events that are always with charity. You can just have an event that's for fans to get together and have a good time with each other. And that's what the Browncoat Ball is. And I think that's another good avenue for fandom to take.
That is true. I've actually never been to the Browncoat Ball, but it's always been on my wish list of like things I want to dress up silly and go to and like have a great time at.
It was an epic good time.
I was so
yes,
sad the last ones.
Yeah. I thought you guys were going to. That is what I heard. I thought you guys were going to go.
We were going to, and then things just fell through and we weren't able to get tickets. So I definitely want to go to the next one. It sounded like so much fun.
We should go to the next
On
one.
our list as well.
Yes, right? We should all go.
It is fun. I went to
The next one is in Salem, Massachusetts.
Which is like the best city in America. I'm sorry for all the guys in cities. It's the best city. We should go.
And there'll be at the Browncoat Ball. On Saturday you get to do almost a whole day of sightseeing before the ball. So you get to see amazing sights at the different cities.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome.
We can go with our webmaster Danny, who's now in Massachusetts as a Browncoat. And another thing I could mention for volunteering is you don't have to be in the same state. For a while, Hannah was in Virginia? Like, yeah, you don't have to be like in California to be a California Browncoat, and I'm sure you don't have to be in Albuquerque to be an Albuquerque Browncoat or Utah to be a Utah Browncoat. You could just volunteer from anywhere. So yeah, we could visit her in Massachusetts and go to the ball.
Yes, if someone was out of state, we would love to have them help out in New Mexico.
Yeah.
And I want to mention, like, all these groups need support. Like, even if you're not sitting in New Mexico, I'm sure that New Mexico or the Albuquerque Browncoats could use help with, like, just like we do with, like, how to do internet stuff and how to technology stuff. And so, like, if you're a fan and you're like, I need to help out a group, and that's a group you've heard of, like, do not hesitate to reach out, because I know we need help. I don't know what I'm doing. So. That is kind of all the time we really have to talk to this group of people. So we're going to say goodbye to all of you for now. William and Charlie, you guys are coming back to talk CSTS in a little bit. James, thank you so much for joining us. It was lovely, and we would love to do this again with you and pick your brain a little bit more another time if you have it. Awesome. And Susie, we're talking to you next. So everybody else, thank you guys. We'll talk to you later. Thank you, James. Susie, are you ready to tell us about your immersive world?
I am ready to tell you about the immersive world. Oh my golly. Okay, so Browncoat Way Station. I'm ready to talk about that one. Yes, woo! I'm so excited. So, you know, I said I was late coming to the con world, and I got bit hard. Gallifrey was my first one, the Doctor Who one. And even though it wasn't my fandom, the people were just so amazing. And so anyway, so I, like everything else in my life, I'm very passionate, and I dove in head first. And by the end of that convention, I went down the line and signed us up for every single convention. So that was our Christmas gift to each other, is my husband and I went to a different convention every single month for a full year. I had, oh, it was amazing. It had this big thing on the wall, and it was a calendar for the whole year and which convention we were going to, and working on our cosplays for each one. And I have a convention room now with all our cosplay and my fabricating table, and yeah. So it was just it was, I found my tribe. And after being on the board of another convention and working behind the scenes with others, I went, you know what? How difficult can this be? I wanted a Firefly convention because I'm a Browncoat. So it's actually been 3 or 4 years in the planning now. And due to circumstances beyond our control, and thank the universe for what happened, because we all went down in lockdown in our state here in California, the night that we were supposed to start our convention, but we had postponed it a year because of circumstances beyond our control, which was a godsend because anyway, so yes, so next year, March 12th through the 14th, 2021, on the beautiful Queen Mary in Long Beach, California, we're having the Browncoat Way Station. So a way station, for those of you who don't know what a way station is, when the pioneers were traveling across America, they would stop at way stations, a place where they could stop along their journey, rest, refresh, and then get back onto their journey. And that's what our heart desire is for our convention, is that on this journey of life, come spend a weekend with us. It's fully immersive. The idea is to take not just a convention, but when you board the boat, you are actually boarding the Firefly universe, if you will. And so it's very interactive. We have actors that are portraying different characters in the verse, and not just our lovable characters that we all love and are passionate about, but also those backstory characters that we never hear about. And so anyway, yeah. So I'm super, super excited about this, and we have a great team working on this. And you can find more information about it at browncoatwaystation.org. Oh, thank you. The charity, Wounded Warrior Project. The Wounded Warrior Project is partnering along with us, along with the Long Beach Veterans Administration.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Again, that just leads into that whole mental health thing that I have going on. And then because I'm very passionate with children's projects as well, we're having an at-the-door donation. We're calling it a pasta-thon. And so we're collecting pasta and sauce, and all of those pasta and sauce will be given to Katarina's Club. Katarina's Club, they feed homeless children every night of the week in, dial it down, dear. Thank you. My husband's telling me, slow down.
You have time. If you go over, we have extra time. We created bumpers, so it's okay.
So they feed homeless children every night of the week in Orange County, Los Angeles County, and the Inland Empire. And so there's no requirement. It's just they feed these families, and it's just an amazing project. And so I said, that's something we can gather at the door, pasta and sauce.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little, did somebody else have a question? Am I the only one?
No.
Okay, great. Can you tell us a little bit about how you feel like Browncoat Way Station is going to be different from other conventions? Like, give us some details that are going to whet our.
So first off, it's a small convention, and it's that way intentionally. There's only so much room on the Queen Mary, and to be honest, we wanted that. Intimate conventions, how do I want to put this? I love San Diego Comic-Con, but it's overwhelming. It's really overwhelming. I always think of it as 600,000 of my closest friends. And yes, there's a little smirk there on that one, okay? I like smaller conventions. Smaller conventions, you get to actually become a participant. You're not just getting entertained, you're actually becoming part of the convention, if you will. I love the smaller conventions because the guests that are usually behind and not accessible to at smaller conventions, they're just as big of geeks as we are and just as big of fans. And so they come out of the green room and out of the shadows and they hang. And it's more like a family reunion, to be honest. So first off, that was the first part. And then second off, again, I wanted this to be more than just a regular convention where there are panels and there are workshops and there's various things. I wanted it to feel like you're entering the verse. I wanted it to almost have a Ren Fair feeling to it, but not Renaissance. And Firefly, again, in my head, Firefly exists. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but really, it just, and maybe it's because I did camp for so many decades, but man, you know, the episode Our Mrs. Reynolds, when they play the music, I immediately am thrown back to sitting around the campfire with my chosen family. And I want to live in that world.
Yeah, we are so excited. We've been talking about it.
We have plans.
Yeah, we have plans about how we're going to create like an interactive booth or area.
We're going to change our normal way of doing things to fit it because we're super emotionally invested in Browncoat Way Station.
Yeah, and Linnell is a very big fan of Renaissance Fair, like huge. And so, you know, this is going to be totally her thing. And she has things around her house, like old crates.
I've been saving stuff.
Yes, she
has.
has.
It's a very good crate.
Yes, it is. It's really good. It's very Firefly. So we're very excited for Browncoat Way Station. And yeah, I was thinking about this, I think today or yesterday. But yeah, you're so right that the universe was definitely in your favor about moving it till next year because when you told us this, I think it was about last year at Comic-Con time that you told us it was going to be delayed. I was really sad. You know, we were all really sad because we were excited for it. You know, you've been telling us about it since the 2018, Comic-Con. But yeah, so it totally worked out.
Yeah, just stuff happen for good reasons or what? I mean,
and from a merchandise perspective, I know we're trying to get specific merch for the Browncoat Way Station. So we want something more themed to a way station, maybe some more leather goods and things that you would see that's more immersive at a Renaissance Fair. So I have some leads I'm hunting down for some.
Oh, very cool. And you guys talked about Art of Dave. I love Dave. Dave Warner is like one of my favorite people on the planet, seriously. And he's on our board of directors and love him because he designed our logo behind me.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
And he's one of those amazing people. And when you find amazing people and they become part of your tribe, it's like, I love him. I mean, even if he didn't do any of this, I still love him because he's a phenomenal person, you know? William Pace, you know, I get my patches from him because he's just an awesome person. And
yeah, the Browncoats are really good people. And I do want to mention that Dave is like just a really great human being. I mean, if you think about the fact that like this is he makes stuff to sell to make money, that's his, and he gives a huge portion of that to us as a donation so that we can have prizes to give away and things like that. I mean, he's just.
I'm going to give a little shout out just because he's amazing anyways, but do you know what he's doing during quarantine?
No.
He's a teacher. By nature, he is a teacher. He teaches, he teaches at the academy. And so what he teaches is the laser, what he does with the wood, the laser stuff.
Cutting. Laser cutting.
Anyways, because of quarantine, he's not doing laser teaching, right? So he is a driver for the Inland Empire mask makers. He is delivering masks to hospitals and fire stations and vets and I mean,
oh wow,
he's just an amazing human being.
It is. Wow, he really is.
He's a hero. He's a big damn hero.
Absolutely. We love him. He's awesome. Well, is there anything else we need to know about Browncoat Way Station?
You can find out more at browncoatwaystation.org or browncoatwaystation.com. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. To be honest, I don't know what all the handles are because somebody else do that because I can't do that.
We're going to be trying to make a thing on both Facebook and Twitter of all the people that we talk to and all the ways you can contact them. So we will definitely, if people are interested in that, and I know people are, you'll be able to find it in our list of links either on Twitter or on Facebook after.
And you know what? Like they said, we are always looking for volunteers. You want to attend the convention for free? Volunteer. We'll put you to work and we'll let you stay.
Awesome.
Thank you, Susie, and thank you for coming and talking on our panel.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time. I know you're a busy lady, Dr. Susie C. Wright. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks, Susie.
Okay. Who's next? What's next?
So we have the Alberta Browncoats coming on at 5:45. So for the next few minutes, we just want to remind you guys that we are doing a chopstick game, you know, because we know you guys love our chopstick game.
Let me interject. We do have our chopstick game, and those prizes are some things that were donated by Sean
Mayer,
who played Simon, Dr. Simon Tam, who was very generous, and he picked this charity for us. But I'm not gonna lie, like I was like, please pick it. But some of our prizes include stuff that he donated, including this. These are given to him by fans, and there's like some so these are like a sticker set and like a bow tie set, and we've got a couple of those. And then Nick Kremnick, who we talked to a little while ago, the artist, donated this extremely limited edition. Oh, now you can see how metallic it is.
Oh yeah,
metallic river portrait that is only available on his like one of the highest tiers of his Patreon. And I want to take a moment to, because you asked how to find the Patreon, and
yeah,
and he mentioned it, but the link didn't work, so I'm going to say it out loud on this. You can go to patreon.com / Nick Kremnick Art. That's all one word. NickKremneck ART, and that's how you can support him.
Yes.
And
we will also post that link on Facebook and Twitter,
Yes.
because we know that might be hard to remember and spell. So please check that if you are interested.
The phones are open. Call now. So if you wanted to participate in
the chopstick game,
tell them how to do that.
So how to participate in the chopstick game? You go to our GoFundMe. You go to GoFundMe.com, and in the search bar, you type in California Browncoats. We're the only one.
The only California Browncoats.
Promise. Fund me right now. And so it's the same thing as the game. You know, when we're at the conventions, we ask for a suggested $5 donation. But of course, you can donate anything you can spare. We would appreciate anything that you can give. But so any donation gets you one draw, but in $5 increments, you will get more, you will get multiple drawings or entries. So $5 is one, well, $5 below one, and then $10 to $20 for, and so on and so forth.
I want to give a shout out to Chrissy, who besides being our merchandiser person, is also our legal commentary, and she is the one who came up with this idea and also checked to make sure that it's legal. So Chrissy, good job. We could not do this without you. I would literally be too afraid.
Yeah, so
I am not an attorney. I do not give legal advice, but I do work for a law firm. So
well, okay, she does not give legal advice, but she went to law school. So when we have questions, she doesn't give us answers.
She helps us.
She helps us. She guides us. She guides. She's a guide. She guides us. She looks things up and presents them in front of her boss. And that is how we know when things are okay with us. But we could not do this without her. She is a really important part of California Browncoats. She not only does all our secretary stuff and submits important documents to the government that we need to do. She also buys all our merchandise. And like I said, presents our legal questions to her boss, who lets us know if they are legal or not legal, or if we're gonna get sued. So thank you for that.
Yeah, she's always on top of new merch, so it's really
And
great.
I want to plug our auction really quick. Again, all the money from the auction is going to benefit Alzheimer's Association, and we have 2 items that we're auctioning, and these are available on our Facebook. You can bid on them
in the comment section.
Yeah, you leave a comment with your next highest bid. And so for one thing, we have this beautiful art that was given to Sean, and he autographed it. Okay, and it's a beautiful print. Oh, you know what? Is it on her or is it on me? Can you see me right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how Zoom works, you guys. I really don't know. Like, and I'm on it all the time because I got a 7-year-old. And then we're also auctioning off this beautiful, this is Nightwing, and Sean was the voice of Nightwing in the Batman Bad Blood movie, animated movie, and he has signed that. And this is in really good condition. It's unopened.
Signed by Sean. Has the, I mean, you probably don't want to open it.
Yeah, don't open it because you
Yeah.
signed the cellophane. So
Yeah.
please don't open it. It
But-
stays like this forever.
But it does have the Blu-ray disc.
Yeah.
But don't open it to watch the Blu-ray disc.
Okay.
So that's our auction. Please bid. We ask in $5 increments on Facebook. The bidding will end at 6:30 when this event is over. Winner will be contacted through Facebook,
Yes.
and we will
Get your
talk
information
about
and
all the
ship
stuff.
it to you.
And then with the chopstick poll, we will contact you through GoFundMe. So I know we get a ton of spam emails every freaking day. And so please, if you get an email from GoFundMe, please read it, or at least read the subject to see if it's a message from us. But of course, if you have a question for us, like you don't get an email from GoFundMe or you have more questions, please feel free to message us on Facebook,
Yes.
Twitter,
Reach out.
out. We're totally, we will be, we're totally available to
Yes.
respond.
100%.
Um,
Sometimes it takes me a while, but I get there sooner or later.
yes, we
Okay.
will respond. Anything else that we wanted to present?
Chrissy, do you want to talk at all about what we have coming up that we kind of talked about? Like we have some things coming up in the fall and in the winter. Do you want to talk about this at all? We might be doing a CSTS possibly watch party in the.
Yeah, so we want to do a virtual CSTS watch party so we can all get together and watch Serenity and raise money for Equality Now at that time. Right now it's Alzheimer's, but for the CSTS events, we're going to raise money for Equality Now. And we're hoping in the future, we'll see how movie theaters go, if we can do one at a theater, possibly in Orange County. But we'll play that one by ear. But we look forward to doing the virtual one and all being together and kind of getting to, you know, do a little chat in the corner and all of our little comments during it. And we're also, I don't know,
the first time we can actually talk during the movie.
and I don't know if we're gonna, or if I'm supposed to talk about this, but we were trying to do a Shepherd book themed San Diego Comic-Con. And one of the things we're working on right now is a new challenge coin. So hopefully in the future we'll debut that, but we are trying to do a Shepherd book challenge coin, which will hopefully be releasing soon, if not by next Comic-Con.
Yeah, we're really excited for all those book themed
Yeah.
items that we're
I don't know if like I know we have no idea if the apocalypse is going to be over by Comic-Con, but just so like the audience knows, like we try to pick a theme. We've been trying to pick a theme for each convention and kind of build merchandise around that is new and stuff you guys have never seen before. And so it's supposed to be this year, but hopefully next year Comic-Con is going to all be about Shepherd book, and we're going to have the coin that we talked about, and there's some other things
that we're planning.
Yeah, in the
Working
planning
on.
phase, maybe like a new book bag because it's a book, so we need a book bag. Yeah.
We've gotten some requests for an unlined notebook, but we don't know. I don't know how to get that, so we're still looking.
Yeah. And Christy mentioned this earlier, but if you and a Shepherd book portrait mini print from Nick. Nick is working on Shepherd book for the mini print collection. Thank you for texting me, Nick. We were talking about, so Christy was saying that like if you have an idea, and we love it. If you tell us like a thing that like you really wanted, like we had several people say they want an unlined notebook. We have a lined journal, but like unlined notebook, like we would love to work on projects. Like we love getting feedback from what you guys want. You're the ones we want to buy it. We want to have you buy it all. So if you like want to see something new, or if you have an idea for something, we'd love to hear it. We'd love to try to make that happen.
We always make a list. People stop by our booth at all the cons and they're like, oh, why don't you have this? Or I wish you had this, you had this a couple years ago. And so, I mean, I promise you, we make lists of everything you guys say. We try to implement it as best we can. Yeah, that's great. Don't forget that if there's any merch that you are missing because you couldn't come to con this year, it's all online on our website. Check out our website. If you want to buy it, let us know. We're going to get the prices on the website soon.
I'm pulling your hair. I'm sorry. I'm pulling her luscious red hair. Sorry.
So
very close.
we're gonna put the prices on the website soon. But if you would like to purchase an item, please let us know.
And we'll work on that.
We'll work on that to get you. Also, some of the items, the handmade items, are on our Etsy shop.
Etsy
/shop/ California Browncoats. And I think you have to do a capital C and then a capital B.
I don't think you do. It's not
No?
case sensitive. Their name,
Oh,
the name's
okay.
like we put it in the name, but it's not case sensitive.
Got it. Okay.
Nick told me recently that you can go California. Did he say that today?
Yeah, he just said that.
California Browncoats
Etsy.
No,
Etsy.com. You can try it.
Yeah, try
But otherwise, Etsy.com /shop/
boom. I see
California.
that Sheila's waiting. Let's get Sheila in here.
All
Nobody
right.
wants us to talk
I
anymore.
know. We're but I mean, what Nick did tell us that he would listen to our podcast. So
yeah, and he's actually texting me, so I know he's listening. And I like it when I know that people are paying. Like I'm not just here talking. It's not just the three of us.
Right.
People actually listening. Let's get Sheila in here so we stop talking.
All right. It takes a minute to
get in
join.
here.
So.
Sheila. I think that there's a song with that name in it, but I can't remember the words. I think so, probably. Yeah, there's a name with everybody's.
I'm sure.
A song with everybody's name.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Except your name. Your name is still unique. Yeah.
So Mike has just tried CaliforniaBrowncoats.etsy.com and he sees Andrew wearing a Jane hat. So I think it works.
Boom! Woo! Nick was right. We take
Bam.
back everything bad we ever said about Nick.
Yes. Thank you, Nick, for the advice.
Yes. Okay, so
let's
that
see.
you can find us that way. And like we said, everything that you do, it totally works.
Yeah.
Everything that you buy helps us keep doing things. There's Sheila and Drew. I see you both. Woo-hoo!
Okay, I'm trying to unmute you guys.
Let me do a quick introduction while you were trying to unmute them.
Yes.
Sheila and Drew are basically, you guys are like the Alberta Browncoats. I don't know if you're all the Alberta Browncoats, but you're all the Alberta Browncoats that I personally know and hang out with and love. So as far as I'm concerned, you're it.
We're not all of the Alberta Browncoats. We're just the ones that travel down to California every year, like a religion.
How big is your group? How big are the Alberta Browncoats?
Officially on the record, we're what, 7, 8 people?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're tiny on the record. But we'll claim anybody who says they want to be an Alberta Browncoat. But as far as the board goes, it's a 5-member board and 3 people that have been with us along the way for 11 years now.
Yeah.
About that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Awesome.
You guys have 11. Like we're supposed to have 5 and 3, but we're just 5, and then 3 of those 5 do the other 3 things. So
Yeah, and the other 3 are married or partners of the board members, so they're just dragged along.
Yep.
Yeah, I got one of them. And I got 2 of those. Yeah. So you guys are joining us from Alberta, Canada, and we. Some people might know that you guys come down and volunteer with us every year at Comic-Con. We have a really, like, you guys are cousins. We got a great relationship. And I'm seeing the chat going on the YouTube channel. Like, you guys also know everybody. Like, I see you, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
You are Susie.
We've been volunteering with California Browncoats since 2009.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's been a long time that we've been coming down and doing that. It's our kind of rite of passage when we come down every year. So some people go to Hall H, we come and volunteer at the booth.
Oh, we appreciate that.
We do. That's awesome.
So what are you guys gonna do this year since the convention's canceled?
It's really hard to say. I really like your GoFundMe idea, so we might have to try that. We had a plan for a massive online auction. Nathan was going to help us tweet out about it and tell people. And you guys were helping us get parts of it signed.
Yes.
And so we shipped them off into the mail, into the ether, to get Alan and Sean to sign pieces of it for us. We have this giant Serenity Lego. It has been signed by Mark and Nathan, and Alan and Sean were about to sign it. And then COVID hit, and we're hoping the pieces are in the mailroom because it's part of the front of the ship is missing, and then part of the galley is missing.
Wait, so you're saying you sent them out and you have heard nothing else, is what you're saying?
Well, we sent them out, and then because of COVID hitting, we're hoping that they've made it to the mailrooms. The tracking information says that they've been delivered.
Okay, this is giving me anxiety. really bad
anxiety all the time.
Oh,
Because it was a
Hannah.
custom build, and they had to go out and like specially find pieces. And
Oh
it's
my gosh, yeah.
Can you message some
Yeah,
people and find
I
out?
will. I will message both of them. But I know Sean has been extremely busy. He just emailed me back after like a month this week. He's been traveling back and forth to New York.
They've been on tracking numbers. They've been confirmed as landing in the places they were supposed to land.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why I figured they're sitting in a mailroom somewhere, and when everybody comes back to work, that's when it all gets sorted out.
Oh yeah, because it went to his husband's office.
Oh,
yeah, that's right.
And then in the case of Alan, it went to Alan's where he was shooting, but the shoot got shut down.
Oh my gosh, now that makes sense. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're sitting in places of business.
Yeah.
They're in like really safe places. So it's
okay.
Yeah, I haven't been that worried about them. They're figuring like they're in a mailroom. They're in a
yes.
They're not lost in like USPS or anything.
That would be my extreme worry. So yes. Okay, good.
So when you do have the pieces back, what are you guys going to do with it?
Well, we're hoping to be able to track down some of the rest of the cast members to get some more of it signed. And we're trying to tie as much as possible pieces to where they might have been on the ship. So because Mark was he only ever stood in the cargo bay. So he signed a piece of the cargo bay. Because Alan piloted the ship, we took a piece of the front end. Because I don't remember the name of what that's called. Cockpit, thank you. So we took the cockpit away, and it's kind of the section between where kind of the lunchroom area was and the cargo bay is where we sent off to Sean. So it's like the supporting structure wall, because he was like a main supporting person for everybody. Kept everybody cool, but he also spent a lot of time in those bits and pieces throughout the show. Also because we didn't have a medical lab built into it. It's really amazing. There are some pictures on our Facebook site where we've taken it apart and you can see the bits and pieces. Because we did take a structural piece out to send to Sean, we can't pull it down to really show people at the moment because there's a risk of it just falling completely apart. So it's just behind us. It does light up.
Oh, that's cool.
Thousands of pieces of Lego. It lights up. We're hoping the batteries still work in it. Because we'll have to order a piece from, I believe it's Germany.
Yeah.
Once that battery disappears and it's light up.
Oh, wow.
But it's really amazing. It was built by Don Verrier in Red Deer, Alberta.
Oh, wow. It's beautiful. I wasn't expecting it to be that big. I thought it was like.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And it's gorgeous. If you see the pictures, the front comes apart and you can see the cockpit section. So you can see there's a little chair in there for Wash to sit in, and then the top comes off and you can see the area where like the kitchen table is. And then that section comes out and you can see the cargo, and the front end opens up.
Don't take it apart. We don't want anything apart.
It's just popping it down. So you can actually walk into the cargo
The little
bay.
wrap door.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
And then the butt opens up so you can actually see, and that's where it lights up, is those sections on the end will open up.
Can you tell us the dimensions? Because from here it's like behind you, so it's hard to like tell how big it is. Can you tell us like how big?
Let's see. My arm.
Oh my gosh. It was really hard to tell exactly how big it was from with you guys in front of it, like because it's just the way the length works. Oh my gosh!
Wow.
What lights up?
Holy moly!
That is amazing. And I have a friend who works for Lego, and he was saying that Lego thought about doing a Firefly Lego set because they do so many themed sets, but back when they were thinking about it, they thought Firefly would be too adult. And so they ended up scrapping that idea. So I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Don made 3 attempts at getting it to this stage. So this was his 3rd prototype.
Is the one in your glass case one of the first ones?
No, what's in the glass case is actually, if you remember, QMX did the Big Dam replicas.
Mm-hmm.
So that's QMX's Big Dam replica. Apparently, we are the only ones who asked them to do a barrel roll. So we have a barrel roll replica, and so we're the only ones who actually have it instead of on a straight plane. It's on a canted plane.
I can see that. Now that you said that, then I can see. Like I thought you had an angle to show it that way, but now I see it. That's cool. That's awesome, and it lights up. That's really neat.
Yeah. So that will not be going anywhere. That will stay in our home.
Yes.
But the Serenity Lego will eventually get auctioned off online. The hope was to get it done this year, but with COVID happening, it's probably going to take us a little bit longer to accumulate all the signatures and get all of the pieces back. However, since mail is still running, if we can get connected with a few more people, we'll see about getting some more pieces back and forth and see if we can get it up and running.
And then where will the proceeds go to?
Most of our charity proceeds go to 2 local Edmonton-based charities. When we're in Calgary and we're doing events in Calgary, we do pick a Calgary-based charity, which is called GRIT, which is Getting Ready for Inclusion Today. And that charity is based on pre-kindergarten supports for children with different ability levels. So you'll have blind children or children who are deaf, and getting them ready to go into the school system. So different navigation patterns, playing with balls that have lights and sounds and things. Also teaching them how to eat properly if they previously had trachs in their systems.
Oh, wow.
Really cool things. And then in Edmonton, we support YES, which is the Youth Empowerment and Support Services. In our system here, they have the systems where kids are into support systems up until about 16, 17 in the foster care system. And then there's the adult system for if you are houseless, but there's nothing in between if you're aging out of the system and you find yourself without anywhere to go. So they fill that gap area and support programs there. We also support a program that's called E4C. And E4C runs the WEAC, which is the Women's Emergency Accommodation Shelter. They also support the ABC Head Start program, which is a program that provides book and reading supports to small children in the pre-K, I think actually also into grade 1, I think as well. They also do the women's clothing. So when you're trying to go, if you're trying to go back into the workforce, you've been out for a number of years and you're getting into like the business suits and appropriate clothing to go back into the workforce, they do the immigration welcome programs, language training. So they support a wide variety of different inner city organizations and charities within the city. The hot lunch programs in schools. So if you're a lower income and you don't have proper food supports, they provide that during the school year, but they also provide the snacks when you're out of school care. So in the summer, when you still don't have that meal, they're providing a cold lunch for those kids during the summertime.
Yeah, those are a great group of charities. Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. I'm really glad that you guys can support all of them. They're doing amazing stuff. Yeah.
Is there any way that people, I mean, I know you said you don't have anything on GoFundMe started right now. Is there any way that we can ask people to support you guys? Is there anything that Alberta Browncoats could use from people to help spread your message or give you support in any other way?
We're always accepting donations. So if people have, we do, I believe, have a donation link on our Alberta Browncoats website. And if anybody reaches out to us on our email address, like you guys, we love it when people will donate fan art. We are moving because we've been in the convention scene locally in Calgary and Edmonton for a number of years. We're moving from a merchandise focused booth to a fan-based booth if conventions ever happen again. So we'll be moving more towards the style of what you guys are doing with the chopsticks games. We actually built a huge photo booth.
Yep.
Oh my gosh,
where people could come get their pictures taken.
We
had a section that was actually going to feature things like the QMX replica. We also had a large Mal QMX statue. We had the mule replicas. We had a couple of other things that were going to be out on demonstration at the booth this year, because people don't always have the opportunity to see things like that. So we had a lot of things that were going to be out for people to come and see and then get their pictures taken with at this large photo booth section.
Yeah.
Similar to what Utah Browncoats do with their photo booths.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we just didn't have an opportunity to debut it because the convention's been postponed until next year. So similar to what you guys do.
For the photo booth, we were at a Creation Con years and years ago, and we got one of the massive vinyl advertising posters with Jane on it. And we got Adam to sign the entire leg. So it's
So it'll be
what's-
Jane themed.
Yeah, so you get to stand in front of a giant Jane
And,
and get your picture taken.
and do some cosplaying of Jane characters or Jane themed type things.
That's awesome. I love it. Very cool.
Yeah.
Were you guys the ones that started the Alberta Browncoats, or?
We are, yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
So how long have you guys been doing this? Just out of curiosity.
The Alberta Browncoats officially incorporated in November of 2009. There are a lot of fan groups in Canada. We're the only official nonprofit. So you guys have 501c in the US. In Canada, you have different levels. You can be a registered charity or nonprofit within your provincial area, which is like a state, or you can do it countrywide. We're just registered within our state area because we don't go out through the whole country. So we are a registered nonprofit in the province of Alberta.
Nice. Oh, great. One thing we've been asking everybody is if you guys have favorite, since we're not having cons right now, if anybody's got some favorite con memories they would like to share with us.
My favorite con memory is I was sitting in a karaoke bar in Edmonton, whining about how I was going to miss San Diego Comic-Con one year, about 2 weeks before Comic-Con was about to happen. And it was the 10th anniversary of the 10th anniversary of Firefly or Serenity?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Todd or James will have to correct me on it. But I was whining about how I was going to actually miss the con that year, and Drew was going up north.
Yeah, I'd also been told that this morning, like that Friday morning, that I was being shipped up to the Arctic, so I wasn't going to be home. She was going to be by herself.
Oh my gosh!
And it was a year where you couldn't get tickets because it had switched over to the lottery system prior to that. So I'm in a karaoke bar and I'm just whining away like a crazy person about how I really wanted to go and I was just missing the whole thing. And everybody down there crowdsourced my way down there. So I got asked if I could buy a plane ticket. How fast could I get down there? So I bought a plane ticket, and James got me a ticket into the con for Friday, and Todd gave me a couch to sleep on. And then Denise and I got, through Nate, I got a ticket to a Joss panel. It was one of the years that Zach Levi was doing his Smiles shows.
Aww.
One of the venues. So we got to see a Nathan panel. I saw that with Denise. And then Nate and I went to see a Joss Whedon panel. And it was just the whole weekend was like thrown together last minute. And that was probably my best con experience.
That sounds amazing.
A whole bunch of just amazing brown coats from all over California and well, just all over everywhere. But that would be my best con memory from San Diego.
Drew, do you have a different con memory?
No. Well, actually, the other one that I've got, again, mostly involves her. So we were down one of the times we were getting ready to volunteer in the California Browncoats, and just around the booth from you guys, the hallway down to the bathroom. Well, they closed off everything to bring some guests through, but they didn't close the bathroom. So Sheila's not paying attention to everything. I don't think she was wearing her glasses because she never wears her glasses. So she comes out of the bathroom and right into Misha Collins, like body checks him.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't see him there.
And so I mean, she ended up getting a really weird, awkward photo, and all the rest. But it was just the things that happen in a con.
That's awesome.
It is almost the end of our time with you, and I thought of one other question that I really want to ask you. Also, I had to tell her who Misha Collins was, but she had to tell you because she doesn't know.
I just pretend to know people.
It's okay. It's okay. We love you.
Yeah.
So Susie has mentioned this, and I kind of mentioned this, that like usually if there is a relationship, a marriage within the fan group, there's one person who is the fan and the other person who is being forced. Okay, I was curious if it was true for you guys.
I was gonna say it's really funny because I don't think either of us are we're not crazy huge fans of the show. We're very huge fans of the fandom, the people that are part of the fandom, the idea behind the fundraising, the community, the support both of fans themselves and of the charitable organizations, because Browncoats were kind of one of the first groups to do that.
Yeah.
I know that some of the Star Trek fans did it as well in the early days, but I mean, long before there were Harry Potter fans raising funds, or long before Supernatural started doing it, Browncoats were doing it easily a decade before that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think that's actually, I mean, I do love the show and I do love the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
I think it's
I
true
love
that
the show,
we're
but I love the fans.
special people.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk
One
to
time,
us.
what's
Oh,
your
sorry.
website? What's your website? Can you say the whole address?
AlbertaBrowncoats.com.
Okay, AlbertaBrowncoats.com. If you can help support the Alberta Browncoats, if you know something that will help them, or you can donate something, please reach out. And thank you guys so much for being with us.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you for having us.
Have a good one.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
All right.
All right, now we're back to Charlie and William.
Thank you guys just for hanging out this whole time.
Yeah.
Charlie and William, you guys are awesome.
I want to do a little plug real quick if I can. One
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone saw Sheila's shirt. It was amazing. And it's because I also own it and I got it from our booth. And then I noticed Linnell's wearing a shirt that she got from our booth and I'm wearing a shirt that I got from our booth. So some of these may or may not be in a chance bag if you see any of our shirts that we're wearing that we like.
These for sure are. These for sure are. I know that there's still some of these out in my shed because all the merchandise is in my garage or my shed or on furniture in my bedroom. So, but yeah. Okay, so Charlie and William, we are here to talk to you guys
Specifically about SCSCS.
Specifically about Can't Stop the Serenity. I know you both have had big roles. Charlie more recently, William for a long time you've been involved. And we kind of want to talk to you guys about Can't Stop the Serenity and how the current situation with social distancing is affecting that, and advice you guys have for people who want to put on a screening.
Okay, let me start by saying just very recently we had a virtual shindig where we had people tuning in from all over the world, including Australia and the UK. And it was kind of a brainstorming activity to see if people had really unique ideas on how to do virtual shindigs. Now, I've been doing a virtual shindig going back to 2014, but that was primarily created for people that were in some form of isolation. Either they lived in a country where they couldn't find any browncoats, or they lived in a state or some part of it, specifically some part of the country they lived in where there were no other browncoats that they could find, that wanted to attend an event and share the experience with fellow browncoats. So we created a virtual shindig for that purpose, and we do that every year and we raise money that way. So that's already been a thing. But we wanted to open that idea up and see if people could bring fresh ideas that we had never thought of, ways of fundraising we had never thought of. And it was a really fun session. It was supposed to be just, I think, 2 hours. It ended up being 5+ hours, because just as we'd start to wrap up, new people would come in and we'd catch them up, and then we'd move forward with them, and then we'd start to wrap up and new people would come in. So it snowballed into this long event where we talked about everything that's going on in the Firefly fandom, but specifically just kept pitching ideas. And it's funny because people who came in with no ideas fed off the suggestions of other people, and they think, oh, I know a guy, or I know this volunteer here, or this person there that had this idea. We used it once. And ideas that they thought were just peripheral or too small to build on suddenly became the biggest ideas. They kind of floated to the top, and we built upon those things. So there are a lot of different ways you can hold a virtual event, and we'll discuss that as we go along, but I'll defer the same question to Charlie.
Well, I don't know if I'm the expert at all, but we're all adapting. I'm learning a lot just by watching how you guys have set up this event. It seems like a mega virtual, meta ultra virtual, because you got YouTube, got Zoom, You've got Facebook, I don't know how many things you have going at the same time
So
here.
many things.
We actually learned about, well, I got the idea, or we got the idea because
Oh, and a Google Meetup, I forgot to say. It's
Yeah.
like everything in one.
James had us on his podcast, or a podcast he does with some other people about Comic-Con, and that's where we were like, oh, this is a thing we can make happen. So hopefully, if you do take some things out of this, I suggest contacting Hannah, because she's our person who sort of knows how to do this, and maybe she can help you guys set this up to do it. Definitely.
I was curious how many people are, if you're able to see the statistics on how many people are on YouTube live watching.
Right now there are 16 people watching, but we've had upwards of 23.
Yeah, we had about 25 to 30 people watching earlier in the day. Yeah. I think it's getting towards dinner time. Pacific Coast people. Yeah, and this is Pacific Coast people. But we have 15 right now watching, and so that's 15 people who could do Can't Stop the Serenity screenings. Let me ask you guys this. Over the years, like, are you finding that there are less screenings? Like, what can we do to invigorate Can't Stop the Serenity? How can we keep that going?
We discussed it a little bit earlier. There are less screenings because there were these golden volunteers that didn't have anybody to follow behind them to pick up as they were running. So it's like watching people running with a marathon, and they went to hand off the baton and nobody took it. And so they didn't win, they didn't go anywhere, the race just kind of stopped. But then you have these other golden moments where people come into the fandom locally where there used to be big events, and they see what used to be, and now they're asking a lot of questions. They want to get involved. So sometimes it only takes one person or a handful of people to look back at the legacy of a particular city and say, there's no reason I can't do this. I mean, going back to my own, Salt Lake skipped a year in 2007. Nobody was stepping forward in 2008. And I just decided I've got to get back into this because I love the fandom enough. And I saw that there was this energy, so I jumped in. And the rest is this huge story because I've been involved really deeply ever since. Same thing with Charlie. Charlie just decided, hey, I can do this. And without having any of the experience like he talked about before, he just stepped in and took the reins. And Charlie has been involved in so many things. Browncoat Ball, Can't Stop the Serenity, conventions galore. It's amazing how immediately you get immersed into this culture if you just step in.
I would like to say that we will help anybody who wants to restart a city.
Oh, great.
I hope Linnell could personally speak to the fact that I will personally help you. Yes. And it won't be just me. We have a whole team at CSTS Global that will help you with every aspect. We have the technology experts, which includes me. You need a website. If we have graphic masters like William. We'll help you with all aspects.
I do want to talk a little bit about that because I do want, like, I got involved in the Browncoat fandom through Can't Stop the Serenity. My first Browncoat event was Can't Stop the Serenity, and I never missed a year after that. And then I started co-hosting with Dawn, who I think was getting a little bit burnt out, and then we kind of took over. It is a gateway drug to doing other things. And so I do want to, if somebody is listening or somebody stumbles on this video later who is like, what is this, or how can I be involved? Like, this is a great way to start doing something within the fandom that benefits charity. And there is so much support. You are not put out there by yourself, like, here, go do this. It's helpful for me. I was mentored by Dawn, who was the host, who has been hosting with us for many, she's been doing it in Orange County forever. And she taught me a lot, but also, like, Charlie sent me boxes of auction items and raffle items and prizes and things to get people involved. And there's always been so much advice. So if you are interested in doing this, if you're out there, baby nerds, if you're out there and you want to do it, like, this is a great time. There are great people who are involved. And that being said, I see this, we always do a movie theater screening, but it doesn't have to be a movie theater screening, right? Can you guys talk about what other things people could do?
Let me tell you about my favorite. Years ago, I had a man contact me from the UK. He's in Nottingham. And he said, my wife and I are getting married at a local pub. And we've told all the wedding guests they can't bring us any presents whatsoever. Not a single wedding present can be brought to the wedding. And they put out a large jar where people just put money in for equality now. That's it. If you brought presents, you'd be turned away at the door. And this goes back to what Sheila was saying about, you know, they just had those pieces signed on the Legos, and they're out there somewhere, sitting somewhere, and they haven't seen them yet. I was so excited that these people were going to give up their chance to get wedding gifts that I went out of my way to ship the Can't Stop the Serenity sponsor pack to them so they could raise more money at the pub. And when I sent it, it didn't get there. And it didn't get there. And it disappeared into the customs in the UK. And then I got a message saying that I'd filled out the paperwork wrong. And this was a month after I had shipped it, and the wedding was coming up within days. And I was so distraught because this is the one thing I wanted to get out there. And then I went to the post office and they said, this is what we'll do. We'll take copies of the original paperwork, we'll fax it to customs again, pretend that we just filled it out again, and see if we just get a different answer this time. And I didn't think that would work. But this post office guy dug into the paperwork that they normally throw away after this many weeks, found it, sent it, and it went through. But then it was out there, and I didn't know where it was because I couldn't track it in the UK. And this is what happened. The day of the wedding, the bride walked out her front door, locked the door to her apartment, and as she's going down the walk to get into her friend's car to go to the pub in her wedding dress, the postman came up the walk with the sponsor pack, and she threw herself into his arms and hugged the postman. And he was so alarmed because here's this bride, she came rushing up and hugged him and thanked him for he didn't know what, because he didn't know what was in the box. And it made it the day of the wedding to the event. And that was not a screening. That was just a wedding at a pub.
That is amazing. Wow, that's a great story. What a postal man that is. Wow.
I'm surprised he didn't get married that day.
Well, that's a good segue into the fact that for many, many years, there's been support for what are called Can't Stop the Serenity affiliate events that do not involve screening the movie Serenity.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the first one I went to was a backyard concert in Albuquerque where the Bedlam Bards came down and played Firefly songs in the backyard. And we passed the jar around for donations and raffled and auctioned a few items, and it was a great time. And I met some of my best friends there.
Oh, that's a great event. Yeah.
And so it can be anything that you imagine. And in Utah, there's an event I've been dying to go to. Hopefully I could go maybe this year in September or October, whenever it is, that a massive screening of Dr. Horrible sing-along blog. So William could tell you about that.
Fine.
Yeah, at the end of FanX, every time the convention concludes, 900 people go into one of the main ballrooms, and you have not lived until you've seen 900 people sing along to Dr. Horrible.
Oh my gosh.
It's chaos. The auction, the prize drawing at the end of the event is one of the funniest things you will ever attend. We're really, we're so worried about the convention happening in September because of what's going on, because that's one of our events where we do almost nothing. And we fill the room with 900 people and just raise money. It's one of our easiest events. And it's one of the largest attended events.
He's being too modest. They build a gigantic Firefly themed booth that is just, I am so envious, admiring the pictures from afar. And that causes a huge stream of traffic to the booth, and they sell tickets the whole weekend for this Sunday event, and they make a lot of money for Equality Now just on the ticket sales.
We should do
That's
a road
great.
trip. We should do a
Oh
California
yeah,
Browncoats road
we
trip
need
and
to.
go
That
and
sounds
watch.
so much fun.
So if somebody reached out to us today and was like, I'm curious about starting a CSTS event and I don't know where to start, what should we tell them? How would you tell them to get started?
I would tell them to go to the website first, can'tstoptheserenity.org.
.com.
Not .org. Thank you. I was thinking Equality Now and Can't
Yeah.
Stop the Serenity at the same time.
That is .com, everybody, .com.
Yeah. And there's a lot of information though. There's actually pull down menus that show you what you can do, what's needed to start certain things.
Look at the events menu and read along, and some of the pages under there have a full guide to hosting an event and lots of ideas for hosting different kinds of events. And there's a expression of interest form that will notify us that you're interested in hosting an event, and then we'll start talking to you and help you make the event that you want to have.
And right now, with social distancing being the norm, like what are some ideas? Like, can they do would a Zoom thing like this? Would this be an event? What are some other things that they could do that at this time if they can't get together with people?
Some of the ideas that came out of our brainstorming event a few weeks ago are finding someone with musical talent and having them put on a virtual concert, and then providing links to donate funds directly. A lot of people are doing eBay auctions. We're going to be doing a live auction virtually speaking where people can tune in and bid in real time. We have a very special opportunity that came up totally by accident on an unrelated project. A friend of mine, Sean, and I are rebuilding the Firefly archive, which used to host all the images of the original props. And we got in contact with Skip Crank, who was the prop master for the Firefly TV series. He also worked on Buffy. And he's agreed to come on and do a Q&A on the virtual shindig. Him, we might get Lee Stringer, Dylan Chapman, who is the artist who worked directly with Shauna in the costuming department, has agreed to come out. So we're gonna have these little virtual events throughout the season that are coming up. And people get to ask that people directly what happened behind the scenes. What are your favorite experiences? Skip is amazing because he's really close friends with Nathan Fillion. And so he has these amazing anecdotes. I talk to him almost every 2 or 3 days now because he's helping us identify images in the archive that he took and that others took. And so I'm really, I want to say I'm excited, but that's way too small a word because Skip keeps starting to tell me stories. I'm like, no, hold that, wait, save that story for the Q&A, because he's got these amazing, funny experiences about things that happened behind the scenes. And so there really is no wrong answer. There were so many good answers during the brainstorming session that I think if you have an idea, throw it at us. Throw it at your local group and just see what it builds into, because there's amazing ideas out there.
Yeah, it sounds like it's pretty limitless in what you want to do for your Can't Stop the Serenity event. Just people getting together to have a good time and raise money for Equality Now. That sounds awesome.
I do want to mention that William has extended the season, which usually ends in October, till mid-December. So we're hopeful we could have some live events in September through December.
Yes, I know that's affecting our decision. I know Chris was just talking about it a little while ago, but we're gonna try to do a watch party online in the summer, late summer, and then we're hoping if everything here, like right now, obviously nobody can get to a movie theater, but if things open up, then we might try something early December to get people together and in person. I mean, I say this having done like virtual watch parties of Serenity and having done the in-person thing. Like it's hard to, you know, I mean, the watch parties are super fun, but being there in person and seeing everybody in the family and being able to like,
you dress
know,
up as your favorite character.
Yeah, and you know, we often have the Fallen Stars, and it's just a really beautiful event, and is exactly what drew me into doing this, and it's why I'm such a rabid person for this charity. Sorry.
I would like to interject and say one thing about screenings. They are not off the table. Salt Lake has been given the Bruvies Theater for a whole day event, and what they're doing is they're doing 3 separate screenings far enough apart that they can sanitize the theater in between each screening, and they're limiting the theater to 20 people, even though it holds 170. So they're having 3 screenings with very limited seating spread out across the theater. And this idea just came within the last day or two, and we haven't built on it yet. Some people are talking about renting old drive-in theaters.
Yes.
Show Serenity on the big screen, completely independent of each other.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I have seen was it a charity event, or I think it was, maybe, I don't know if what kind of event it was, but I have seen people going to a drive-in theater during this time as like a kind of a get together. So
Yes, actually, Chrissy and I were just texting, and she's like, "What about a drive-in?"
Yeah,
that's such a good idea. Like,
great
minds, I
great
would
minds.
totally go to that. Like, I haven't been to a drive-in movie theater. Who's been to a drive-in movie theater in a million years? That would be amazing.
I went last year.
Yeah, but you're special. The rest of us don't have access.
We should also tell you don't have to screen Serenity. There are a number of fan films that are available to screen at an affiliate event. So you could do a drive-in theater type situation where you have people spread way out and you do it on a projection screen at night. And you could show something that requires no licensing and still raise money.
Oh yeah.
I do remember, I know like Dawn used to do Dr. Horrible, and then that got hard for us to do, but we did watch, there was a like kind of a fan film about this guy who was like a group of ghost hunters. Do you guys remember what that was?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
It was so good. I went home and I made my friends watch it, and I can't think of what the name of it was, but it's a group of ghost hunters, and the guy like is having kind of relationship trouble, and he's got a psychic involved, and like it was really good. And I saw that at I Can't Stop This Journey screening.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that's I never would have seen that film if I hadn't. It was not on my radar.
One thing I didn't even mention to William, because I didn't think of it at the brainstorming session, is the city of Albuquerque's put on events at local parks where they have this sort of giant inflatable infrastructure that holds a big screen, giant screen, and then they just show this big movie in the park. And so you could adapt that technology for a drive-in at any vacant paved area,
yeah,
parking lot or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those kind of outdoor events are popular too.
Yeah,
like,
used to work for a company that did those, right?
Yeah.
An outdoor event would be safer health-wise.
Right.
People could just spread out on a big park lawn.
I want to mention this too, because Sheila was on the YouTube. This is the wrong screen for the YouTube. This is the YouTube. And she mentioned that that the Alberta Browncoats do their best to support cities via auction item donations to cities who want to do, to people who want to do Can't Stop the Serenity screenings. So if they reach out to them in time for them to make shipping deadlines. So that's another resource besides CSTS org itself, which is an amazing organization full of resources. Other Browncoat groups, like I know if people reach out to us, we would always send a little pack of stuff. Like we would love to support any small groups who would like to do something in their town. So Alberta Browncoats and us, and I'm sure a lot of other Browncoat groups. I know Albuquerque, New Mexico, the Albuquerque Browncoats have donated stuff that we've gotten in our box. So I know you guys support too.
Yeah.
And we do have an ongoing 3-part donation thing through Facebook. So spring, summer, and fall, there is a link to donate directly to Equality Now on Facebook.
Yes, nice. And we did share that on our Facebook. I believe that we shared that, or we shared one started by Charlie on our Facebook.
Yeah, I'm gonna have William be the instigator of the next two. Now
Got
that I figured it out. They only let you do it as a personal. They wouldn't let Can't Stop the Serenity as an organization.
And I tried to share that on our page right away. And for the first few weeks, I think, so I was trying my phone, like, so how you share it is also, I couldn't share it right away. I had to like figure out some sort of workaround to share it on our charity page, on our fan page. So, but we will look for the next two.
Yeah,
and try to share those
we'll
as
definitely
well.
share those.
And it's doing very well. The initial goal was 1,000. We're already up to 1,600.
Great, that's great.
So raised the goal up to 2,000 and now to 3,000.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah. Well,
One of the best things you can do, and we suggest this to anybody who has a Facebook group, always remind the people in your group to love a link, not to like a link, because if you love a link, it gets more traffic based on how the algorithms work on Facebook. Always remind your people when they're liking your links for fundraisers and events, put the love on there, not the like, because it goes further.
No way, I did not know that.
If you don't love it, you can use the wow, a love or a wow, but don't just like it because they just think that's a casual drive-by like,
I want to reiterate that for anybody who is only like paying attention. We have a new watcher. So did you hear that, people in our brown coat world? Don't just like the things we post. Please love them or wow them. That would be helpful for all of us.
And not just that, actually click on things within the post.
Okay.
Click on the picture, click on the event, click on the links, whatever it is, click upon it. And the more those things happen, the more people will see it.
Look how much we're learning today. Oh my gosh, I had no idea about any of that Facebook stuff.
And share, yes, of course, sharing is good too.
Yes.
Share is awesome, and commenting is good.
Yes.
All of the above.
Good to know. I think that is the end of our time. Thank you guys so much. Is there anything else that you want to leave us with? Any bit of advice for CSTS or thing you need us to know?
Well, William's running the event this year. Just reach out to him. I believe it's William Pace, right? William Pace at Can't Stop the Serenity. Well, that's his private one, but it's William Pace at can'tstoptheserenity.org. Well, it's .com, damn it. William.
Yeah, now we're both doing it.
At can'tstoptheserenity.com. And then, he's running the global organization for anybody around the world who wants to have a Can't Stop the Serenity event, whether a screening or an affiliate event, and just reach out to him and he'll help you, direct you to the right people, whatever.
Awesome. Thank you.
I just want to push the fact that there are a lot of events happening this year. It doesn't look like it on the surface on Facebook and on our website because there are a lot of cities waiting to find out if their theaters are open. But a bunch of them are planning on holding an event. They're just waiting until things change. So there's at least 4 cities that aren't on the registry right now on the page, just because they don't know yet. But they have every intention and they're excited.
But people can check up to see new events and to see all the events on the CSTS website.
Yeah, that and Facebook. We hit all the social medias.
As soon as I update the web pages.
That's right. We're in the same boat. Definitely be committing to, just not yet. Yeah. What were you saying, Charlie?
I need to get off my butt and update the web page for the events that have registered so far.
And if you're just starting out and you're not sure what to do, reach out to your artisans, artistic people, creative people. They're sitting at home with nothing to do right now. You take such advantage of their talents right now by just reaching out and saying, hey, is there anybody out there that wants to make something for our events? And there's an opportunity to create merchandise and advertising right there, just sitting untapped.
Yeah, that's great advice. Well, thank you guys so much.
We definitely will, any artist or musical group who volunteers, we will cross promote all over the place. We will thank you profusely. We'll share links and share your website and Facebook pages everywhere on social media.
Thank you guys. And thank you guys so much for your time.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. I know like you guys have been here all day. And
Yeah,
it's a
for
really
dropping
long
in
time.
on other panels.
Yeah.
We really appreciate
Yeah,
that.
and yeah, you guys saved us because we did have some panel issues. Thank you guys so much, and we would love to talk to you guys in the future if we do this again.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun anytime.
Thank you for inviting us. It was great.
I'm so glad. All right, you guys have a good evening, and we're gonna wrap things up over here.
Yeah.
Bye.
Later.
Bye. All right. So, final push. It is 6:29 for the auction. Final push.
Yeah.
Better get your closing bids in.
Closing
Come on.
bids need to happen right now. You can find those on our Facebook. There's 2 posts. Facebook page. There's this thing signed Nightwing gift
Batman, Bad Blood
set.
gift set.
There's
the sketch of Simon, signed by Sean. Right now we are at $1,225 donated on our GoFundMe. Thank you guys so much. This is gonna help a lot. Sean is, I wanted to mention this right before we go, but Sean is working on a specific event with the Alzheimer's Association. He's working very closely actually with the Alzheimer's Association. It's not just he picked it and we're gonna donate. He's actually working with the Alzheimer's Association. I wanted to share it really quickly.
That's okay. I have some things to say after that, so you don't have to rush. It's
Okay.
fine. I'm still gonna hold these people in my thrall for like another 15 minutes.
You must stay. So it's the spring soiree. It was supposed to be May 6th, but of course it's been to be determined. So keep an eye on this spring soiree. We'll post it on Facebook. But this is his actual event that he has been working closely on with the Alzheimer's Association.
And we did share that link for Giving Tuesday. So
Yes.
we will occasionally share that link as well as our own GoFundMe. So that is out there and you can trust that link from us. It is directly related to Sean's fundraising efforts for the Alzheimer's Association.
And if you're gonna tweet or share, or I don't know, any of the other thingy-majigs, do hashtag EndALZ.
That's ENDALZ. That's the hashtag that they're using to try to raise awareness and get people to connect over it. So that is the hashtag to use.
Yes.
What else? So we talked about our donations. We talked about our auction items, which are ending. Please give us a couple days. If you won, it'll probably, I do have 2 small children and they are at home 100% of the time. And it is very difficult for me to find the time to do the things I need to do. So if it takes me 2 days to reach out to you, please just be patient with me. Or if you want to reach out to me first, that makes it helpful. I don't have to run things down. I want to mention one more time the thing that we kind of talked about at the beginning. We are going to be launching a craft contest as a fundraiser for next year's Comic-Con, but we have a deadline of May 1st. We want anything that is Browncoat or Firefly or Serenity related, a craft that you do. And you have to understand that if you are submitting it, you are donating that craft to be auctioned off for charity. But it will be judged and we will have a winner and we have a pretty gosh darn good prize that we're pretty excited about. And yes, so
we're excited to see all the entries.
Yeah, I love crafts. It's gonna be super fun. So you have a year. And that means, and you have a year, at least part of that spent in isolation. So now is the time. Get out your macaroni noodles. All right, get out the glue gun because it better be fantastic. I'm like super excited.
I want a marshmallow face of Mal. That's what I want.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. Chrissy, do you have anything to add to this? And thank you for sitting in here. I know like we just told you were going to come on for a little bit of merch and then we've just we kidnapped you basically all day. So thank you.
No, I can't think of anything else. I think we've covered it. We're gonna update the merch on the website with the prices. We're also, considering, depending on funds, if we can do more merchandise, get new things out as well. So pay attention to that. If there's anything that you want, reach out to us. I know one of the cons somebody requested magnets, and the next con we had magnets. So just let us know, and we'll see, you know, if we can track someone down to make it happen. We try our best to keep growing the fandom and get the themed merchandise out there.
Yes, definitely. And I want to thank everybody who showed up today. Besides Chrissy, we had Nick Kremenick from Nick Kremenick Art, our Dream Forger Studios. I have a list, guys. I have children, so I'm tired, and I have a list. Hold on, I'm going to read from that list. I'm sorry.
So we don't miss anyone.
Be patient. I don't want to miss anybody, and I'm really, really tired. Okay, so thank you to Nick for coming. Thank you so much to the Fallen Stars, because that was such a beautiful welcome interlude in the stress that I think we're all kind of going through right now. It's good to engage in art and music in times of stress. So we owe them a big favor, I think all of us, for providing some beautiful and beautiful engagement, beautiful art engagement. Thank you to Susie, to James, and to William and Charlie for coming for our discussion about fandom charities and fan-based charities. Thank you to Sheila and Drew from the Alberta Browncoats. You guys are definitely our brethren, and you support us so much, and we will do anything we can to support you guys. And again, Charlie and William for talking to us about CSTS. And was that everybody? Was that everybody who came? Yeah. Did everybody? Also, I know a lot of our people are still watching Browncoats that we interact with at CSTS, Browncoats that we interact with at our booth, some of our volunteers who've already bid and donated. And we are so grateful for you guys. I can't name you all by names because I'll be here all night. But thank you. We miss you so much, and you guys keep us going. Your energy and your excitement and your creative, crazy ideas feed us and keep us doing this. And without you guys, we would not be sitting here in my messy living room right now. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Keep updated. Watch our Facebook, Twitter feeds. We will keep you updated on everything. We'll post all the links from today, all the people. Again, it may take us a day or two to get everyone and everyone's links on there. So bear with us. But we will eventually get, in the next 2 days, get everything up there on social media. But again, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We will respond. And really, just thank you guys for watching and participating today. We appreciate it
very much. Chrissy, you have any words to add? Is that
Final
everything?
words.
Do we forget anybody?
No, you named everybody except for I would throw in to not forget to check out our local artists. Denise Washosaurus couldn't make it today. Art of Dave couldn't make it today, but they're online. They do great work. They help us a lot. Nick Kremenick, he was here, but he's also an artist who has some new merchandise, including Witcher coins, which as soon as my husband heard that, he's like, tell him to post pictures. And I was like, look at dreamforger.etsy.com. Like, you're not listening to it. So yeah, support your local artists, support Alzheimer's, support everybody on here. Everybody has their own events, and yeah,
I think that's a good point. Like, even if you don't support our local artists, like if you're out there in the ether listening to this, like, support your artists, support people. Artists are what bring the community together, any community. And so this is a really great time to give back to your community and support the groups within your community that need help right now, but also to support your local artists. All right. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's a wrap. Yay!
Stay
We did
safe.
it.
Stay safe,
Bye,
everybody.
stay healthy.
Stay shiny.
Thank you so much, guys.